right, folks, welcome. Day 2 here at the Gfinity Arena, live from London, England. I'm Sir Scoots, and again, I am joined by my good friends, or I'm going to call you good friends today, whether it's true or not, because, you know.
Look, we'll even shake hands
we'll
on
shake hands.
They must be friends. If it happened on camera, it must be true fans. I know how you feel.
Richard Lewis, Duncan Thorne
the
Shields.
Day 9 effect.
Gentlemen, how are you?
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
Love
awesome.
his videos.
Real psyched today. This is the business end of the tournament now. People are going to be going home today, so expecting to see some high drama as it unfolds. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I mean, after the way yesterday went with some of those upsets, some of those near upsets as well, I get the feeling that it's not going to be smooth sailing today. Like, some of the teams will pick it up and get back on course. Like, I'm expecting people like VP to be good again, but just from how close the tournament looked, I get the feeling someone's going to go out in kind of shocking fashion at this tournament.
Yeah, can't stress that enough, actually. This tournament is wide open. So.
Yeah. And again, like you said, we had great
all these
matches.
metaphors, business end, wide open. Like, what's on your mind, Rich? Get down to business, yeah?
Pay me.
Pay me.
So, again, we had several different overtimes. And again, we're going to walk you guys through the schedule for today and tomorrow, and then we're going to catch you up with the bracket so you can actually see what happened yesterday. But let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule today so you see what you're in store for. Again, one thing to keep in mind, we have 2 stages here in the venue, and we have 2 streams coming out of the venue. One is being done remotely by the folks at MLG. That's the Challenger stage, so all those matches you see down below will be covered by them. And up top, the main stage is what we'll be bringing you all day, starting with a barn burner, Ninjas in Pajamas versus Team Dignitas. So every match today is streamed on either the Gfinity Twitch platform or the MLG platform. So not going to miss a match no matter what.
See that graphic there actually reminds me of when Freakazoid was playing yesterday. The screen was just like grayed out the whole time.
Yeah, poor Freakazoid. And then obviously on Sunday, the big day, 2 semifinals. Again, everything's best of 3 or best of 5. So today is best of 3s. Tomorrow semis are best of 3, and then we wrap up with an amazing grand final that we love. It's a best of 5.
Yeah, the best of 5 finals, which the good old war of attrition. Where there's nowhere to hide. You've got to play pretty much all of the maps. You get to ban one, and then you just have to sort of go into it. So there's no argument about whoever wins best of 5 is the best team.
And I like that more and more tournaments are kind of doing that too.
Yeah, but I also like the fact it makes the final different. Because the problem is when the final's identical format to a semi-final, you can always be like, oh, but I beat you in a semi-final last event, you know, and you beat me in it still just feels like a best of 3. Whereas if I beat you in like a narrow best of 3, but then you smash me in a best of 5, like 3-1 or 3-0, that one's going to sting. That one's going to last for. You can't pretend like that was just another match, you know? Not, no. It means something more.
Yeah. And let's go ahead and show you the brackets for today. So we'll start with Group A. And again, these groups are done what we affectionately refer to as GSL style, which basically means mini double elimination brackets with 4 teams. So as Thorne eloquently put yesterday, the idea is win 2. If you win 2, you're through. If you lose 2, you're out. So as you can see, the top of the bracket, we've got that first matchup, Ninjas in Pajamas and Dignitas. And obviously right after that, Group B, sitting at the top, Envious, Mouse Sports, and down below, Cloud9, Virtus Pro. So nobody is out yet, but like Richard said, it's moving day. You know, teams are going to go home today.
Well, look at this. One of Cloud9 and VP is going to be out immediately after that match alone. So
yeah, and you know, that game right there as well just shows how great the tournament is overall in terms of the teams that are here. That is always a classic matchup. Whenever those 2 teams meet, it's fireworks. And then you add to it that the team that loses that is going to be going home in a best of 3. That's amazing. That's right there. You know, pretty much what a Gfinity is all about.
Richard's right on message today. They already did #pay him. So
yeah, mate.
He's earning it though.
He's on point.
He's at the business end of it. It's wide open for him.
I woke up after a healthy 7 hours sleep, and there was just a big pile of money there. And Red Eye was saying, "We'll give you more." Really hype it today, though, Rich. So there you go.
7 hours sleep. Is there 2 of you or something?
That's
physically impossible.
He is very generous with the fees that he gives his casters.
Oh, absolutely.
He thinks they deserve it.
I get more than you 2 combined, I think.
All right, we're going to put you guys all on the spot now. We always ask these guys always your predictions and your dark horses. So let's go ahead and look at the predictions first and see what all the guys picked to win. Pretty standard stuff, I think. You got Envious, Virtus Pro, Ninjas, kind of picked between all the guys to win. Nothing too surprising. Obviously, a couple guys with Virtus Pro, both sitting down the lower side of the bracket. So not out yet for Richard and James, but not necessarily looking the greatest for you two.
Yeah, I've definitely got some nerves about that pick now because obviously Virtus Pro got a crunch game coming up. So,
and then on the dark horses, which again technically means those that would be an upset if they won, which we all started laughing when we saw James's pick, because I don't know how you can think the #3 team in the world would be an upset to win or a dark horse, but he's got
a tournament without the #2 and #1, no less.
Yeah, exactly. so there's their dark horses.
He's an interesting fellow, isn't he?
Yeah, I got to say that was. I don't know. Maybe they framed it a different way.
That's
like
just
maybe
an example of
2 winners or something.
What he's doing a great job of there is showing like the different talents that there are in production, because he's a play-by-play caster, and you asked him for sort of some analysis there. You see, you don't really pay me.
When I did ask him yesterday, I'm like, "What are you thinking?" And he's like, "I think I misunderstood what dark horse meant." So I don't know what he could misunderstand it to. But
I'm not sure how a British public schoolboy type could not know that phrase.
He's kind of posh too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. No one's out of any of their predictions quite yet, but very soon. No. And one thing to keep in mind, folks, all sorts of giveaways happening this weekend in the Twitch chat. Knife giveaways, different skins, all sorts of good products. There's a couple different ways you can win. You can see there on the graphic. They want you to subscribe to the website. Takes you a matter of seconds. Really easy to do. There's a subscription, and there's a free side. So you want to at least get a free account. Costs you nothing. And actually on the live TV page within Gfinity's website, gives you all sorts of extra stats. It's basically a one-stop shop to watch this entire event. All the different streams, all the different languages, all on one page. All you have to do is have an account to see all the fancy stuff down below. But then if you pay about, what did we say, $2.50 in pounds, so that's about $4 for me in the States.
The price of a cup of coffee.
Can't beat that. Actually, maybe even cheaper than some coffee.
Indeed.
That'll get you into all sorts of different cups and different stuff online within the website, but also gets you into the knife to give away, especially this one right here, the Fade. So, again, for the price of a cup of coffee.
I can't believe he's picking, as a unit of currency, one of the most universally held as overly expensive things in the world, Rich. Like, really?
Anyway.
Hey, I'm just going on what we got briefed, man.
I'm trying to get my plug, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Get your plug on, baby. Get your plug on.
Baby. So definitely check it out. Go to the website. Sign up for at least a free account. But, of course, we would encourage you to buy a subscription so you can have a chance to win the Fade. And, again, we're going to get right into it. Let's talk about our first match. Our first match, obviously, is NiP versus Dignitas. Let's get right into it. Dignitas doing quite well. 2-0 yesterday. NiP struggled. And they tend to struggle in group play, we notice, but haven't struggled as much as they did last time at Gfinity, but again, that was not an easy necessarily.
It wasn't a comprehensive performance against SK Gaming, a team that people felt were one of the weaker teams here, and certainly an unknown quantity. It was their first tournament. They just changed caller as well, and NiP really laboured in that game. Sure, you can give credit to SK Gaming, but you've got to say a team like NiP should just be beating them comfortably with all of their experience, all of their talent. And now they come into this game here. Two teams that are getting to know each other very well. They played each other, obviously, at DreamHack Summer recently. Again, that was probably a little bit closer than NiP would have liked, although NiP did manage to, edge away with it at the end. Their class did tell. But as we saw from yesterday, Team Dignitas looking imperious against Titans. So this is a very interesting matchup, especially where both are poised at the moment.
Especially because of those last matchups. Like, you think of the context coming into this one. Last time, Dignitas were only too happy to play Mirage against NiP.
Yep.
And that was obviously one of the maps that they beat Titan on. Another map we think of as a strong map for these guys is Dust 2, but we see NiP's going away from that. So I want to see, is NiP going to play them on Mirage again, even knowing like they had problems yesterday? We know what NiP's like. Sometimes they'll just play you on the maps that you're strongest on.
More often than not.
This is also a team, Dignitas, where... Listen, I know players say this, but they claim like, oh, it was us who lost the matches at DreamHack Summit. It wasn't NiP who won them. We made the key mistakes. We should have done it. So if that's true, well, hey, you've got your chance now. It's a best of 3 now, mate. If you're really the better team, your quality should out, And if it turns out you actually do have the good matchup against NiP, even if they are higher ranked, now's the time to win. Now's the time to get a favorable set of maps and to do it. Because actually what's interesting with this, in terms of the historical component, is if you take the cores of these teams, so the 4 NiP players, and actually 3 of the players in this team used to be in the old Western Wolves team. 2 years ago, they used to be one of the contenders. They were actually up there with a NiP, often losing to NiP, but they were at that echelon. So I know those sorts of players, okay, they've all been in different teams since they've all had some of them slumps, etc. But they're thinking they can get back to that level. And obviously now with NiP being in a slightly weakened state, they can kind of join them at that level, I think.
Yeah, and some interesting sort of minutiae, if you like, about this matchup was when they played at DreamHack Summer, one of the things that were a factor was obviously Kiebi kind of is a player who we know he's a phenomenal young talent, but he did go missing against NiP big time. He seemed to be intimidated by the big names. He couldn't match their level, only managed 4 frags, unacceptable level of performance from a player of his talent. And on top of that, after the game, as Duncan rightly says, they were talking about, look, all the mistakes we made. They kind of had a little mini implosion. People were arguing. So, yeah, it's definitely, this has got the potential to be an explosive tie.
Yeah. The thing is, if I am Kirby as well, what's funny is yesterday's match should set me up now to get over that. Because I'm like, wait a minute, guys like Sandon, people I think I'm better than, they were doing great against him. They were getting all these clutch rounds. They were having dropping huge numbers, 30+ kills and stuff. They're coming close to it. They're a Danish team who's below us, So, hey, what have I got to be afraid of? You can get right dies just the same if you put a bullet in his head, And
then he teabagged you.
And then we definitely talked a lot about last month and how NiP didn't get out of groups. Different format, there were draws involved, there were points involved, there were rounds for and against involved to break ties. So
I just want to clarify, NiP were rubbish at that event, though.
Oh, agreed. I'm just saying, like this one,
there's
no
NiP fans out there, the faithful.
There's no gray area. Like you just got to win.
Yeah.
It is in your own hands. You don't have to wait for anybody else.
That's
what
I like about this format, though.
Yeah.
We can't have any of those complaints like, if there was a tiebreaker, if it was different things. Like, you have to win the game, mate. If you do, you go through. If you don't, you're out.
Yeah, no gray area. So let's take a look at the Ninjas in Pajamas roster. Why don't you kind of walk us through these guys? Thorne, obviously, most everyone watching probably knows who they are.
Yeah.
We'll walk you through it.
So we'll start on the left. So back to being the in-game leader again. Long-time in-game leader of this team exists. Interestingly, with him, he's never been a super tactical in-game leader. He's more of a loose kind of a man manager. He just kind of puts the players in positions where then they trigger the plays from there themselves. So speaking of a playmaker, we've got Forrest here, obviously one of the best aims in the history of CS. Even now, in probably the biggest slump of his career, he'll still have a half where he brings it out again, and you're like, wow, what crazy aim. Why can't he do that all the time? In the middle, the classic star of the team, Get Right. Obviously, the most famous lurker maybe ever in CS. He's pretty much made that role his own to a degree. Doesn't work quite as much now, but he's still hovering around that star level area, I think. Freiberg's the man who's really been struggling the last few months. He's been the guy where people are wondering, is he the guy on the chopping block if they have to make moves? But actually, in the game against SK Gaming yesterday, he was actually pretty much the best player, so he kind of saved them a bit there. Alu on the right here, the most recent addition. I mean, he hasn't been quite the kind of really consistent player he was when he first joined the team, but you saw it. He almost single-handedly won that Cobblestone game for them. Those 2 crazy AWP rounds where he just made it look like a warm-up or something. It just looked easy, but it was just phenomenal play. Any range. One of the things he always impresses me in terms of as an AWPer is he's actually got a really good close-range shot, actually. That's where a lot of AWPers, if you close the distance on them, they're going to panic. He seems really stable in that scenario. I mean, you look at him like that, he's just ice cold, He seems like a guy who doesn't get flustered, which is a really good quality to have if you want to be an AWPer in this game.
That quality is what actually got him the spot in NiP, because Makalele was a bit more emotive, a bit more erratic. Yeah. That was why the rest of the team felt they couldn't play with him. Alu came in and was the Iceman under tremendous pressure, the same pressure Makalele was, but because he just had such a nice, impassive kind of style, that's why he got in.
Yeah, and his reaction, like I was watching during one of those aces, and they after the ace, they took a camera shot of him, and he was just like...
It's interesting, actually.
Like you said, no overly excitement.
Yeah,
right?
But one of the things they did in that game was Ali was actually rifling for a time, gets it out overtime, he picks up the AWP, and that's what dragged him through the tie. I mean, it's a shame because I think everyone's raving about Ali because of those 2 aces he got, but it was Freiberg that did all the hard work to get them there. Yep. And then once they got to overtime, it was Alu that dragged them over the finish line. So I don't think Freiberg's performance should be kind of obscured by Alu's flamboyant brilliance in the OT. Freiberg did the groundwork.
And that's what you always talk about. Like, that's the difference between a good team and a great team is if he doesn't step up, he steps up. So you're still covered. If you both step up, you're unstoppable, that kind of thing, right? So the other team, obviously, they're playing is Team Dignitas. We pontificated a little bit yesterday. I brought it up like, hey, I saw Odie yesterday. Is he here to crack the whip? What is he here to do with this team? When they play
that
Veto?
means his team's still in the tournament. As soon as they go out,
Well, he tweeted.
Like Lord Luke, and you'll never find him,
I mean,
mate.
congratulations to these guys. They tweeted yesterday that they've extended their contracts with Team Dignitas. So obviously, Odie and gang are very happy with this Counter-Strike team.
They're heading in the right direction.
So congratulations to those guys. Why don't you kind of walk us through these guys?
All right, cool. Well, obviously, guys that I know for a long, long time. I've been going to Danish land since like 2006. Pimp. Who was quite a divisive figure at the start of his career, known to be emotional, known to be the kind of guy who wasn't above, flaming his teammates. Did have a very brief scandal related to using the ambient occlusion bug.
He tweets
so
like
you can see through smokes, one thing. But he came back from that, and it was interesting, actually. For the longest period of time, he was involved in teams with MSL and people like Glay Brave and guys like that who were basically getting called, they can't be this good. They've got to be, bullshit, frankly. And of course, he's proven to be one of the most consistent players in the Danish scene. Then you've got AZ, one of the sort of new breed that were coming through in Denmark, but a real aim star. This is a guy who, when he goes off like a firecracker. Dropped a huge amount of frags the other day. Really, a difference maker, a great rifler. Nico is a player who has been around for a long time. He's always played at the top part of the Danish source scenes. But the problem with Nico is this is a guy who he's got other things going on outside of the game. He's always said that he's not willing to commit his entire life to the game unless the rewards are there. This is a guy who, frustratingly, would come into a team, elevate the Danish teams that he was in to the point where they were competing with the rest of Europe with his brilliant AWPing, and then 3 months down the road he'd be going, this ain't worth it. Where's the money at? Where's the money and the women and the rewards?
The cars.
Yeah. And he would just
the questions we ask, Rich.
Yeah. Pay me. And he would just leave, and everyone would be like, well, now we're rubbish again without Nico. But on his day, top AWPer in Europe. Kjærby, we talked about, he's like kind of the young guy that's coming through, has gone missing in big games, but again, a phenomenal talent. He's dropped some, amazing scores against lesser teams. And then MSL, one of the, again, a great leader in source, was always there or thereabouts, was also part of the Western Wolves lineup as well, which Duncan rightly says was, the guy that they were in finals against NiP 2 years ago, and he was the in-game leader who masterminded that.
And then, obviously, here's some stats on Pimp. I think one cool thing for Pimp right now is, he's got a very special fan. When he plays online, this special fan likes to send him extra internet packets and all this extra stuff. So, Pimp has a really, really challenging time playing online lately.
I actually heard this story that recently that someone was so determined to DDoS him where Pimp lives that there was they were just DDoSing the entire the shared IP, and about 200 people were getting DDoSed in his village apparently.
Man.
So Pimp's had to really protect himself.
Yeah, it's been really frustrating for him.
But I mean, just talking about him there, Duncan made this point yesterday, and it's probably something that's worth expanding on. Pimp on his day is a great rifler and will post big scores. But what's really good about Pimp is, and I've said this about any competitor, you're only as good as your plan B. You're only as good as how you perform on your worst days. And Pimp's worst days are really consistent, really stable. He still brings something to the table, whereas other people in his team, the AZs, the Kjærbys, they got this awesome potential. Their ceiling might be higher than the levels Pimp can go to, but when they have those terrifying lows, it really hurts the team. Pimp will never do that. He's always a middling player.
Well, I mean, you saw when they had the graphic up, it said percentage of rounds with a kill was 70+%. So I remember you losing some of these rounds. So you can always rely on Pimp. He's going to get his 1 or his 2 kills. And what's funny is when we were talking before about giving credit to Freiburg, even though Alu's the guy who kind of had the highlight plays that won the game. That's the problem. If you don't get to that point in the game, that guy can't come alive at the end of the star and do the crazy play. You have to have the workhorses who get you to that point, and they're often the guys who kind of get left a bit by the wayside, because it's not so sexy to get 1 kill, do your job, hold a position, and then let a star go and get the kills. So, but someone has to do it in good teams.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the Vetos. They are ready. Let's see what we're gonna play today. Here they come. Why don't you walk us through this, Thorin?
Okay, so NiP bans out Overpass. Again, one they nearly always ban it. It's been their ban pretty much all year, actually. They've just decided they're not going to play that map. Interestingly, Team Dignitas bans out Dust 2, which surprised me, because first of all, NiP's been going away from it, and it's a map where I'd think Dignitas is good on it, and they'd have a good chance against NiP. So I would have thought that they should have been in there, but okay, they decide not to. NiP bans out Cobblestone. I mean, presumably just because, listen, we played a Danish team on it yesterday. They got to see everything that worked there. Let's not play that. Dignitas bans out Train. Okay, a map a lot of teams still aren't comfortable with, don't want to risk. So NiP picks Cache, which actually is a map we haven't seen them on so much recently. It's one that a while ago that used to be the map that they were going to. It was more around when they first picked up Alu, that's where they liked it. Dignitas pick up their Mirage. I mean, interesting, NiP is willing to leave that in, willing to gamble it again. They won on it at DreamHack Summer. And the decider is Inferno. So we're also back to the era where now NiP feel like they're comfortable playing Inferno again. I think also winning it in that last best of 3 against SK made them think, that's a solid map for us right now. So I think overall, what's interesting is this is actually a good map for both teams, I think. This is a pretty good threesome for them all to play on. Dignitas likes all 3 of these maps as well. I'm interested in as much as, I really thought Dust 2 would be in there instead. I would have thought NiP would even gamble on that over Cache maybe, but okay, they decided to go with Cache instead.
I mean, this is an interesting Veto. It's no surprise to see Mirage in there for Dignitas. That's been a go-to map for them, one they obviously feel very comfortable on. But they didn't ultimately have the best results at DreamHack Summer when they were playing it. So they haven't revised that philosophy. I still think they've missed a trick with Dust 2 because Ninjas in Pyjamas look mortal on that map, and all Danish teams have a very high base level on it, especially when you've got an AWPer with the ability of Nico. So I think they've missed a trick there. Cash is going to be all about Nico, I think, and whether, you know, how much penetration can they get there. It could go to Inferno, but actually, I don't know, NiP are comfortable on Cash. So yeah, I think the Veto kind of just favors NiP, actually, ultimately.
Yeah, the problem is, I like the Veto for the Dignitas side. If I look at that in isolation, yeah, good maps. You've got the right ones here where you can have some plays. All of them, in theory, could be close for Dignitas. I feel like in terms of where the two teams are at, NiP is kind of struggling a little bit. Dignitas feel like they can be better than their placing. So it feels like they should have a chance, but I don't think it's going to happen. Like, the problem with the Dignitas guys is what happened at DreamHack Summer, what happened every time I've seen them play. They can get close to a top team, but then they always have that story of like, oh, and then this guy underperformed, and if only this ago. Yeah. Well, there's a reason why that repeats over and over. And so unfortunately, at the moment, I haven't seen that kind of fortitude from the Dignitas guys. I haven't seen where they got into a clutch situation and the hero play comes out, you know. So listen, I know Pimp can do it. Some of the others, they're a bit more up and down. So the other worry for me is that the Dignitas map pick is Mirage. And the last few times I saw Nico play Mirage, he was actually not only a non-factor on the terrorist side, but he was a negative presence. Because the problem is, he's one of those few AWPers who actually doesn't have very good rifles at the moment, so he will just always buy the AWP. So if he's not hitting anything, he can have 5 kills. He'll keep buying the AWP every time, going out there, trying to take the shots. And so some of those times, someone's dropping him that AWP. That's a massive economical drain, and so you can't afford to do that if you're going to be a dedicated AWPer. So I feel like they have to win Mirage if they're going to have a chance to win. If they win, it'll be 2 to 1, whereas I think NiP could win 2 to 0.
I was going to ask you, quick predictions.
Quick predictions. I mean, common sense says NiP will take this. I'll give Dignitas a map based on what they did against Titans, so I think it will go to Inferno. I think Dignitas will take Mirage.
I'll take NiP 2-0.
2-0, 2-1, NiP.
Yeah.
Both NiP.
Close 2-0, but we'll have 2-0.
Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll be back after this match, or if it goes to a 1-1, we'll be back after the second match. Taking you through the first action. It's not so bad today, Henry G. You're looking all right. Henry G, DDK, take it away.
Thank you so much. All right, so this is going to be an exciting one.
Absolutely.
So Cash and Mirage, again, we saw this in DreamHack Summer, and actually, despite the score being 9-16 to NiP on Mirage and then 11-16 on Cash, actually, I remember those matches, and it looked a lot closer. Like, Dignitas got close. They got a lot of opportunities, and this is kind of what Throne was alluding to. They have a chance everywhere. I mean, what do you make of this one?
Well, that was what they said. Like, they said it wasn't NiP playing particularly well. They kind of based it on their mistakes. They said that they kind of let themselves down. We know Mirage is like one of the strongest maps for Dignitas. It's kind of their go-to map, and it's kind of surprising for me why NiP left that in. Like, you know, it's the map they champion and try and push themselves out there with. Watching NiP yesterday, it was kind of interesting to see how they kind of struggled so much against SK. Like, a lot, they didn't really wake up until the overtime, and I think the Alu factor there, like, they didn't give him the AWP until that overtime, and I feel like that was a massive reason why they didn't get so many rounds. As soon as he picked it up in the overtime, he was getting 5-mans, 4-mans all over the place, and it looked like that was almost the saviour for NiP there at that point. Like, they looked like they were really up against the ropes, and SK really were. They looked strong against them. So it'll be interesting to see, like, in the other end of the spectrum, you've got Dignitas, who won up against Titan, a matchup I would normally favour Titan in, and they looked really strong. They got really convincing scorelines. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the games. We were watching the other one, but yeah, you casted NiP yesterday. What did you make of their current form?
It feels like you know, they were typical in that they struggled on the T side, and CT was like, oh, okay, we're CT. The thing is, though, is they had a really close call because they're actually able to win the force buys, which typically these days we're seeing teams be better and better able to handle those, and actually going for the force buy on the CT side it tends to be really unreliable, and it also tends to be a big risk to your economy. So you don't get to, when you go for the first buy round, you don't get to have that AWP on Alu. You don't get to have all the grenades.
Whole thing. Like, they kept doing the force buys, and then they kind of found themselves, especially on the T side, it's not really getting into it. They never had the economy. There's a lot of Galils, forced AKs. They needed the smokes and Cobble just to kind of lock out the choke points, but we just finished a knife round there. Did you see who won it? I think we were both talking.
yeah. I think it was NiP that won that one, so they'll be starting on CT. But yeah, yes, I feel like, right. I mean, that's... Actually, I think Dignitas on the T side, if I'm not mistaken, this is a team that likes to run the full variety of the behind the A main executes, where, like, you throw all the smokes in and it's very telegraphed, but you can use that and you can show like a fake at first. It's kind of like Train, how Train's to be, but then you can do like the rush in, or you can go in mid and go for a split.
That's what a lot of great teams will do. They'll kind of go for a full A execute to begin with, and then they'll start doing exactly the same smokes and not going in with them, doing something else, going back to middle, for example. But as we say that, we have jumped into the game now. The pistol round is live.
All right, so here we go. Already a quick push there from Dignitas, straight into B, just keeping it simple. And that's actually very popular in the meta right now. And they're going to get completely crushed. So Kiabi with a frag also at the end, but it's going to be 3 members surviving. NiP will take the pistol round. And that was a really fast one.
We've seen a lot of teams there just opting for the B rush recently. Like, you kind of just armor up, maybe get one player on a Tech 9, and if you kind of all focus on the bomb side instead of going checkers, like the biggest factor is there, if the CTs make that initial kill and make that first headshot, you're kind of locked down at that point. It breaks the momentum quite a lot, and we saw Exist there picking up 3 huge frags, and that was the deciding factor. You have to make sure your first player jumps around that corner and doesn't allow that headshot to be made. This
is actually really cool though, because Dignitas have decided to actually force up here, and the thing is that they decided instead of going Tech 9 armor, they've got Tech 9s and grenades, and they have 2 Molotovs as well as a flurry of smokes that will be possible. So this is going to be very, very interesting. And Get Right's close with the Mag 7, ready to deal a lot of damage. And in they go. He gets flashed. Will they spot him though? Oh, there we go. MSL picks up the frag with the Tech 9. And they are getting quite a bit of damage in here. But Exist is being such a nuisance. He'll finally get taken out. But Forest has time to get in there. But the smokes will cover the bomb plant. And already this is an amazing round for Dignitas as Forest tries to get something done. But all he can really do at this point is wait for Freiberg to come in from A main. And here he goes, making his way in with the MP7, and will get a few tags there. Doesn't get a quick frag though. Announces his position, goes in. Forest can also help him out now as well. So NiP trying to wrap into this retake here. Both players for Dignitas just hiding by quad. Now can they play this one correctly? We're going to have Freiberg going in for the first frag, and there it is. He does basically everything there. Gets the triple kill, and they save the round. But a bomb down and 3 kills. That's a happy Dignitas right there.
It seemed like Dignitas were actually oblivious to A main there. They had no one watching it whatsoever. They seemed kind of surprised that Freiberg even came from that area. Lacks of concentration there perhaps, but that's a round we're seeing almost every single force buy from terrorists. They kind of, most teams actually opt for the armor and Tech 9s who kind of run in and kind of like use the tank mentality to get in and swarm the bomb site. NiP, wall of smokes there, can kind of do really decent flashes as well. Completely confused NiP, and but they didn't manage to pull the round out. 2-0 now, and you can see a full eco here from Dignitas. You can see Pimp has opted for some armor, but ultimately this should be a almost throwaway round as long as NiP played this correctly with the rifles.
It's actually interesting because I feel like Dignitas, there are a lot of teams, if it was envious, they would absolutely have forced bought there after doing so much damage and getting the bomb down. But we're just going to see Dignitas playing a super economic game here, looking for some picks with just a few pistols. And so far they're not really getting much done, unfortunately for them. NiP going to get this round to build a lot of money, looking to get that really clean round going for themselves. Haven't even used a lot of grenades. Oh, okay, nice little headshot there found by Pimp. Now, will he get anything else done here? Looks like he won't. Freiberg will finish him off, and that will just be 1 member for NiP going down. So, again, very acceptable for NiP. You can see their bank is starting to build, but here is the buy from Dignitas now.
This is the round I'd like to see NiP do something aggressive. I think they know the AWP is coming on Nico. Like, if you know Dignitas, you know it's a pretty standard go-to tactic for them. I'd like to see NiP like push into A main or kind of get some presence in B storage just to kind of lock down this set play that Dignitas is probably going to go to. But see Nico going towards A storage there. He's probably going to be trying to work a pick. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Forest going for that, like shut them down early on.
This is very envious style from NiP. They love to do this 2 A main 2 squeaky split early in the round, and it's actually given NiP a pretty poor result this time around. They're going to lose Exist, and Dignitas pick up that early frag. Nico's a little bit tagged, but they can just wait back a little bit now. Freiberg's going to regain some mid control. Looks like they want to get a counter boost going here to get something done because they're a man down, and they need to try to equalize this. And Forest is there to do the job, and there's a minute left, and Dignitas playing it slow.
They're waiting for it. They can feel it coming, but oh no, Nico's just not going to be facing the right angle, and his teammate lets him down there. He should have been probably watching that angle, and it's going to bring this to a 4-on-3 situation.
Yeah, Forest wanting to get an extra kill there before going back, and that would be the end of him. So 3 versus 4 now. Actually, this is going to make it even worse for NiP. A 1-for-1 trade in that situation here as Freiberg is still in middle, but they won't challenge him just yet. Just flashing him out, trying to basically make it look like it's going to be a B play as Freiberg falls behind the smoke. And we've got 2 players for NiP who are just stuck on the B bomb site. They're expecting a B play. Freiberg is going to scout out now that it's going to be an A, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Nothing at all. It's just get an alley here, and I mean, surely they should go for the safe here. They can't have... well, I guess they can buy next round, but still, the chances to take this is very, very slim, to say the least. But Getro is going to try to make a quick frag. Nothing to be found just yet, though. As Ali looks in as well by shots. Tossing in some cursory grenades, but again, they won't find anything immediately, and there's too much time on the bomb that's gone now, so I guess they're just going to try to fall back.
Yeah, what was really cool about that, the fact they put those middle smokes out and kind of like said, oh, we're doing the mid to B split here, and NiP took the bait completely, and they just didn't even have to do anything towards A. They just kind of run out completely of their A storage area and kind of just got that first frag, and really, really good play from them. And it was a nice, clean round from Dignitas, and that's going to be the start of their T campaign. They get the first round on the board.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the presence of mind from these teams, especially Dignitas and also SK. SK also surprised me in there, just the mid-round cognizance of how to play against CT rotation and just really make that site push extra effective by delaying that rotation.
So we've got a mix of mentality here, like Alu picking up the AWP. Obviously they didn't have that last round, so they went for the aggressive push, trying to pick them off, and Exist got taken down quite early on. This is a change of pace, and they know that the mid boost is really coming down because Alu controlling the mid area, but Nico's actually going to be opting to go towards the A part of the bomb site.
And so far, it's just Dignitas playing it very safe, very slow. After seeing that push early on in the previous round, which is also a pretty risky opener for NiP, deciding to just get aggressive instead of going with passive play to begin with. That's going to put that kind of message into Dignitas that, hey, we can just attack you at any point and in any round for our CT side. So it looks like Dignitas might be gearing up for a bit of a delayed mid-take here. They're starting to gather around the boost. And Alu's there, and in come the grenades. The smokes will block his vision. And will he go forward? He will actually go to sandbag, so fairly committed position. Here they go. Nico gets the pick onto Alu. Good opening onto mid. And there's another one from Nico towards Forest, who look for a response from Vent. And now problems here as KRB goes through B storage into the attack onto Freiburg, who's on the B bomb site. Freiburg has to delay this. He needs to get a delay going. He's got to get some frags as well. There's the first one. AZ goes down. Really good flashes there from Freiburg. He gets the second kill, but in comes Exist straight through the smoke, and MSL was waiting for him, and GetRight's alone through the vent with not much hope in actually making this possible, but he's going to see what he can get done as he goes for the player in B storage. He's going to find the headshot onto Nico. Now it's a 1-on-2 with both players trapped on the bomb site, and I think GetRight knows about this. Going to be looking for another angle here towards headshot, and Pimp can just play the angles. Oh, great double peek from Dignitas. What a round.
Really good team play from them at the end. Like, the big factor there was that smoke going into the Z connector, like forcing Alu out to the sandbags area. Nico just completely read him, took him down, took down the Vents player as well, and they got themselves onto B. Freiburg managed to pick up a couple of nice frags there, but it just wasn't enough. They had to retake through, push through the smokes, and found themselves in a very difficult situation. That's actually going to force NiP onto an eco now, and this could be the start of some serious momentum for Dignitas as they get potentially 3 rounds in a row here.
Yeah, and Dignitas are just going to go straight in for their anti-eco into the B-bomb site. No messing around, no funny business, just straight in, get that bomb down, clear out the bomb site with these rifles. And it's actually quite cool that Kirby died in the previous one, so did Nico, and they're deciding just to invest in SMGs, which is quite interesting. That's going to give them quite a lot of running power into the round.
Absolutely. It means they can go into the bomb sites with the SMGs leading the way, and even if they die, like, it's kind of it's not too much of a sacrifice. You haven't thrown away an AK. I think they knew that NiP were going to be an eco. That's like great, nice clinical round from them, getting into the B bomb site nice and quickly, not dropping any men. So here we go then. NiP actually have opted for the 5 rifle setup now. That maybe Alu felt like he wasn't having that much impact in the rounds, being smoked out in the middle there. Nico has got the AWP again. He got boosted up last time. It looks like he's going to be going towards A storage again to kind of scout out, see if there's any opportunities to take, and then they normally kind of boost him up and see what he can do from there.
So I'm curious whether or not we're going to see aggression here from NiP. I think they've got a boost going on the A bomb site just over the red container, and 2 players in middle as well, leaving 1 on B. So fairly standard setup here from NiP to open things up, and we might indeed see a few smokes going over from behind A main into the A site to pull some rotation for NiP, and also some nades going in towards B storage as well. So this is a really confusing situation for NiP. They have no idea what's going on at the moment. Freiburg's going to hear one player. There's the 1-on-1. Oh, Kirby's going to take him down with a headshot from the AK, and Forrest has to go in and see what's going on now. He will get the return kill onto Kirby, but still, they have no idea what's happening. Where are Dignitas?
Yeah, this is really interesting. The fact they got that opening frag, it spreads NiP out so thinly now, and they kind of have to spread their bets and see what they can do. 2 people on each site, and if Dignitas choose to go out middle here, this could be the perfect decision for them. They can just catch NiP in a very tricky situation. You can see them actually trying to gain some intel here. Forrest is going to make a fantastic frag make that 2, and Exist bounces back, and that was a perfect play from them. When they're kind of in that position where they don't really know where the Dignitas are, they needed to push, get that intel. That's exactly what they did, and a player of Forrest's caliber managing to take down those 2 great frags.
Yeah, simple but very solid, and I like that. Like, as they start with that A main pop flash, then went with B storage pop flash. Eventually, they found them, and They kept the composure and made it happen. So NiP bouncing back at the start of this one. AWP in the hands of Alu again. And but full nades and AWP on the hands of Nico as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Nico can outplay Alu once again.
I'd like to see Alu kind of mix his position up. He's gone on middle every time with the AWP. I'd like to see him use some spawn-based stuff, go towards the A main picks, possibly B, just kind of lock it down and kind of get that early frag to kind of show some presence elsewhere on the map. So far we've seen him being locked down by smokes and not really have that much impact on the rounds.
So get right in that peak that Envious used to do very, very much. Just would be usually happy he'd be boosted up looking over the red container, but this time it's going to be, I think it was Get Right. And yeah, indeed, Get Right just chilling there, looking for the pick. So if a pick attempt does come from Nico, he's hoping to have that really hard angle, just his head showing. But looks like Nico is going to be bested this time around by Alu, so that's a good start for NiP.
Yeah, interesting. He didn't go for the boost there. He kind of went for the mid-main face and got locked down by Alu there, and that's going to be the first all battle I think he's won this game.
The cool thing there is I think that we just saw the wall of smokes from Dignitas in middle, so this is going to force a bit of a rotation, and as middle is, no one can really see anything there from NiP's side of things. Yeah, and the smoke will actually allow them to get out into towards the vent, but Freiburg is waiting below in a very good position. In comes the flash. He's going to take down the first player. Alu picks up another one as they go in for that beep split, and it is really, really hard here for Dignitas. But Kirby comes in with 2 frags. He can't get the bomb. He's got to go all the way around, but he's only got 20 seconds. This is not really going to be doable considering that NiP are lurking all over the place. The best he can hope for now is some damage, and he's not going to get any additional damage. Just 2 frags there by Kirby in that round for Dignitas, and NiP look to be finally forcing Nico out of Dignitas.
Yeah, that early frag from Alu there kind of forced Dignitas to come out middle, go to losing the bomb in vents as well was so important. The fact that Kirby couldn't even pick it up, he kind of left himself in a very difficult situation now, and that's going to force Dignitas into another eco here. And they have got the smokes again. It'll be interesting to see whether they go for a similar play we saw in the second round, where they kind of did the 2 smokes in the A bomb site and kind of forced the way out. It looks like it's going to be that again, and their main priority here is to get the bomb down, get the cash flowing again.
Okay, so let's see if Get Right can stop this. He's got his crosshairs trained on that smoke. In goes the incendiary as well. Oh, but it's going to be Exist who sprays down 3 in quick succession. There will be the frag from the incendiary, and only a single frag in response from AZ, as the bomb will not go down in this round, and minimal damage has been found by Dignitas. So NiP really reinforcing that economy and making life hard for Dig. And I feel like Dignitas, they definitely need to get at least 6-7 rounds going on their T side.
Absolutely. Well, now we can see Forest has picked up an AWP as well. This is where it becomes really interesting for NiPs now. They can be a lot more dynamic and kind of start facing and getting the different angles and kind of surprising Dignitas at the start of the round. I think that's what we'll see Forest doing. Alu will stay to the mid position here and kind of just lock that down. We'll see Forest being, there we go, just picking up the surprise frags at the beginning of the round.
The interesting thing here is that usually with 2 ops you see a 1-3-1, but we saw a 1-1-3 there. So lots of presence towards B storage as we see Get Right trying to poke in towards that smoke in A main to see what's going on, and he's going to find the end of the gun of MSL. And Alu comes in, fragging onto the door. Oh, gets the second one up the ladder as well. Alu doing a great job here for NiP as the push does come in, and they didn't have players in place. It had to be Alu making those kills to stop this or to thin it out, but the bomb still can go down here for Dignitas. They will get the extra money. We need to see a big clutch here from Nico if Dignitas are to take this one, as he just rests behind the quad boxes, waiting for a sign of a Swede. Now, will he find one? Here they come, going for the peak. Oh, misses the flick shot. It's going to be AC who gets a single kill, but Exist will lock it down. 2 frags on the retake and the defuse as well.
Yeah, great opening frag from Forest. Like we said, the surprise factor coming into play. It's a little bit disappointing from Get Right there, kind of pushing into A main there. I feel like he didn't really have to do that. Like, once you've got the pick in your favor, like, you kind of just want to hold back and force the T's to do another mistake. He gave them the frag and another look into the round. Luckily, Alu was there to kind of shut them down. He's had some great form in the AWP we saw yesterday on Cobble, and he, again, seems to be hitting all the crucial shots there, and this is going to keep the momentum going. You can see there's back to 1 AWP. Alu, Forest losing his last round, but here we go. Dignitas yet another full buy from them. They're
looking to go for a contact play towards B, it would seem, as they're all marching through, creeping through the B storage area. There's a smoke down there. Freiburg just tossing in a quick grenade, going for the spray as well. He's going to find a quick kill onto MSL. They need to get a response now, but Freiburg gets another one. Forest gets one in the crossfire, and they are getting completely destroyed there as they move in. They cannot get onto the bomb site. It's just AZ who's left over. The bomb is still on the ground, and NiP have a big rotation coming in to deal with AZ. He needs a 1-on-3 right now. There's the first player found. Alu goes down. And now AZ needs to work this time. He's got a minute to play with, but that bomb being down in checkers is known by NiP, and it is a very awkward position, and he gets caught with a nade in his hand. Exist going to make his 15th frag, I believe. Exist really just fragging so much at the moment.
Yeah, that wasn't really that impressive from Dignitas there. Kind of just opted to walk through smoke completely, and then Freiberg just waiting for them. Picked up some pretty easy frags there. And Dignitas are kind of almost looking like they've run out of ideas here. I'd like to see them like actually run the set pieces when they've got the guns instead of just when they're on Tech 9 stuff. We can see here they've got the Tech 9 rounds. Smokes will be coming out again, and it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. Like, I haven't been able to do too much since that second round.
It is always very disappointing when you see a play like that in that B storage with their full buy, considering that we know that they've got A executes to take mid.
Absolutely, that's what I want to see from them.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll go to that again. And it's starting to get really late into the first half, so they won't get many opportunities after this save round. So Dignitas going to make their way into middle here with the wall of smokes up to protect them a little bit. But Gfinity is lurking around just behind that wall of smokes. He's going to hear them pop the vent, and Freiberg's just going to get a double there straight away as they can't make their way into that B side. NiP just locking things down so effectively. Kirby's going to get a constellation frag, but this round is going to go to NiP quite convincingly as Gfinity comes in from the vents. So
as soon as Gfinity got that information, you could hear them all running around in the smoke. Freiberg was just waiting there, and it's like there's a turret waiting for them. They jumped out the vents. 3 easy frags for him, and not the best eco round for Dignitas there. And this is one we're going to see a change in mentality, I think. I think they're going to have to try to change their preferences as to how they're approaching the round and actually start using the set pieces. We can see them. I'd imagine they'll do a complete A take here. We can see NiP actually boosting someone up. So this will be the fast middle strat we actually see from a lot of teams these days.
Yeah, this is really nice. They'll have to see if they can make use of this. Now, they don't have to actually push up short or anything. They can just hold this because they have it very early on and see if there is a reaction out of NiP, if NiP make a mistake. Yeah.
This is great from NiP. The fact they've got no one in middle actually locks this down for the Dignitas. They're expecting to get a kill of that situation when there's nothing there. They kind of have to work out where the CTs are playing from. If NiP can just keep the AWP at the back of A, locking anyone down coming up highway, then that's perfect for them. Like, this is the best setup they could have hoped for when Dignitas take that sort of mid control.
Yeah, so if NiP aren't peeking them, they've got to decide a time to just go for it to get some map control here. So B split or go for the A split, that's really the question. They have a guy in B storage at the moment, so that would make you think that they'd be leaning towards the B split, but we'll have to see as things progress here. We've got 45 seconds left on the clock, so this is a time when you would expect the play to come in, and that peek from Nico, he wanted to get a pick onto the A site to try to make a play happen there, and it's not going to work out, so they have to go for B. We get the opening there from MSL. He's going to get the entry onto Freiberg. Forrest is close with the AWP. Surely they'll pick him off here. He's just in such a horrible spot, but makes another kill out of it. Forrest is coming out huge with multiple kills with the AWP in a really terrible position. They can't punish him somehow, and Forrest should never have got that 3 kill, but he does, and that's going to be a 10-3 in favor of NiP.
Yeah, that was really nice. The fact that, like I said, NiP didn't have any presence middle allowed them to get that nice, easy frag onto Nico, which kind of forced Dignitas over to B at that point. They knew they couldn't get up highway, and although it was quite nice what they did, they got the attention from Freiberg to look into the storage area as they run out the vent. Just like you said, Forrest is doing some absolutely unbelievable work there. 3 headshots with the AWP, and he's going to be locking down that B area now. Like, he can just kind of rely on himself to kind of lock that down. We can see getting boosted here, and it looks like Dignitas will actually going for some A control.
Yeah, the pick is then coming in, and there you go. You can really see that position from Gfinity coming into play. I think that might be the first time that they've actually even seen that. So the fact that he was able to save it this late into the first half is really beneficial for NiP, and that early man advantage is evened up by the kill onto Freiberg. So still plenty of time here for Dignitas, and it looks like they just want to go for that A play straight up through A main here. They've got a player by Squeaky as well, looking to toss a nade over towards the A bomb site. But NiP, they're all over this. They have 3 players towards the A bomb site, and 1 playing very defensively on B, and they might... Okay, no, because it's just going to be on the toxic barrels there behind, or next to A main rather. And goes to the re-smoke as well. Causing trouble here for Dignitas. They've got 40 seconds left. If they wait to smoke out, okay, well, they're not going to decide to do it, I don't think. There's not really the time to do that. Garrett's going to be by forklift, looks for the one-on-one. There it is. We get Trace coming in, and who is going to be besting who? It's going to be Pimp who gets a double there as well, so to make it a 1-on-2 for Kirby as he creeps in by the forklift. Now he's got to find these players quickly. And he turns his back just at the wrong moment. Forrest picks up the kill from the car, and it's going to be an 11-3 scoreline now.
I think they should be focusing their attention more on the A bomb side. They've kind of gone for a lot of mid and B control at the moment. Like Dignitas, I think if they kind of just smoked out the AWP they know is playing at the quad area, they could get the bomb down quite convincingly. Like if they did that quite early on in the round, I think that would work really well for them. You can see that last round of the half, it's a force buy. The Galils are out. It looks like they're probably going towards that contact B area. Yeah, it's just going to be a straight up B rush, and I don't see much coming from this. Forest have to make a great crossfire from him as well.
These grenades from NiP are absolutely mental right now. Freiburg gets multiple kills, almost getting the ace, 4 frags from him, and that's surely just enough work done as the rest of his teammates finish it off. 12-3 first half is phenomenal, and definitely Dignitas, I think we agree that we know that they had more to show there, but they just didn't bring out the executes. I mean that mid play where they took middle and they ended up going for the B split after Nico got picked off by Alu. That's like a good round. I mean they can repeat that, but we didn't see it enough. I think
that was so obvious. So when they the fact Nico faced out, he knew that was going to be going down, and he hasn't got the favor in that pick as well. Like it was a shame that they went for that. I think they could have smoked off and taken the control away from NiP and kind of locked Alu out, and that would have been a smarter thing to do instead of going for the straight up picks. But a very important pistol round indeed for Dignitas here. With such a huge deficit against them, they really want to make sure they lock this one down, and T pistols have to be the favoured side here, I'm afraid.
Yeah, just jumping a couple players over the boost onto the railing are NiP, and AC's going to pick up 1 frag as well as Nico to eliminate that push, that pressure, and the players for NiP, the remainder, who are going for this play into B, they're not looking too hot either. In comes Pimp with a quick triple, and that's going to be it. Very fast pistol round indeed.
Yeah, that was kind of a strange one. Normally see most T teams will stick together as a 5 and kind of try to keep together frag for frag. They tried to get that the mid presence there, got locked down by the long range USPs, didn't really make anything of it. And then Pimp there, a nice controlled play in the checkers area, making sure he gave enough time to kind of allow himself to guarantee the kill, and picked up 2 nice 5-7 kills after that. So exactly what they needed. And as we say that though, NiP have gone for the force buy here, the Tech 9s and armor, and we see a lot of teams favour A in this position. Like they know they can get out on the bomb site and kind of cause some chaos. That's why Dignitas have got the rifles out. They know they need some heavy artillery to deal with this.
And it's actually cool because we'll get to see the straight up difference between Tech 9 armor versus the Tech 9 nade setup that Dignitas have, because I really like that Tech 9 nade setup. That worked really well, and you don't often see it. Teams will often just go for the armor because it means if they pick up a weapon that they can definitely do a huge amount of extra damage. But you gotta be able to get those weapons down, first of all. And we're gonna see the A split coming up from NiP with a couple players coming from door, and that's gonna be perfect. They're gonna catch AZ in the back. Kirby by the MBK position in the corner. They're gonna have to spray down 2, but he gets absolutely nothing. Oh no, this is looking terrible right now for Dignitas. Nico comes in with a quick frag with the USP, but they need more than that. The bomb's gonna go down. They've got a 3-on-2. They picked up a couple rifles of NiP. And this looks very, very scary indeed for the Danes as they try to go for this retake. MSL and Pimp are together, hand in hand, pushing in with the nades to support as well. Smoking off A-main, it's a smart move, but in comes MSL. Oh, he can't get it done. Trey comes in from Pimp. He can't get the double, and it's going to be the round for NiP. Once again, winning a force-up, and Dignitas are absolutely gutted. That's the worst possible thing that could have happened.
Absolutely. Like, when I saw them have the four rifles out, I thought that was kind of it. They knew what was coming. They can guarantee themselves that round as long as they had the crossfires working effectively. And ultimately, they looked a bit like confused as soon as the T's came out. It looked like they were actually the ones getting pulled apart. And it's such a difficult hold on A when the Tech 9s are coming at you. It's like your lack of utility when you've opted for the rifles, and that's what ultimately shut them down and got pulled apart. And now this should be quite a simple round for NiP. You can see Dignitas haven't really got much in terms of an arsenal. They've got some pistols there, no armor, no nades. They're kind of just going to be holding, hoping they get a pick. And as long as NiP approaches properly and goes to the bomb sites frag for frag, making sure they're using the buddy system as it were, they should be absolutely fine here. And that goes to show as Exist picked up another frag here. This is a 5-on-4 situation.
Oh my goodness, what is this? The knives are coming out. But Kyrie's going to back away. We have Dignitas with 3 players left alive and not much to work with, except like a 5-7 really. That's pretty much the only strength from Dignitas here, so they shouldn't get anything done at all. This looks like a very clean round for NiP, and I think Dignitas will be thinking a lot back to that previous round where they lost against the force-up, because AZ got flanked there. That should never happen. As the opening kill for the terrorists in that situation. Kirby actually picks up a frag. Nico gets one as well, so damage being done here by Dignitas in the closing moments of this round. Can Kirby save any weapons though?
He's only got the CZ in hand at the moment. Like, it's not a bad eco for them, picking up 2 frags. If Kirby can stay alive here, that'd be great, but it's not going to amount to much really. Saving the CZ for next round is not going to be an amazing result for him. Oh, is there a knife potential going on here?
This would be so glorious, but no.
Down he goes. So here we go then. Dignitas kind of have to make that decision now. You can see the money deficit here. They are going for the force buy here. Ultimately, they don't really have a choice here. You can't allow NiP to get a match point at this stage of the game. They have to make sure they win this one. Full famous buy here. They have got smokes to kind of lock out the choke points, but NiP know what kind of position they're in here. As long as they approach this round properly, like they get some mid control and make them fall back, I think this will be a foregone conclusion for them.
Yeah, that force up from Dignitas doesn't look super fun, but gonna flash in Kirby into a main or try, but actually he gets flashed back as well. Oh, Forest is gonna capitalize, finds him out of position, picks up an easy kill, and now NiP gonna start rolling into these positions on these bomb sites. We have Exist, who's moved in by the toxic barrels there, close to A main, and he's making his way into the bomb site now. Pimp is the only man that stands for Dignitas on the A bomb site to really stop anything. And he's going to let the bomb go down and try to keep himself alive for now. Gets a nice little frag there. Sneaky little kill from Forklift. But it's not going to amount to much here as MSL comes in. 1 versus 4. Gets the first member down. But Ali's going to spot him. And he's going to spot him running away. But there it is. Get right. It's not going to let him escape.
Yeah, well that's it. That's the match point for NiP at this stage. You can see it's going to have to be another force buy for Dignitas here, and ultimately this one is over. We have seen some teams claw back into this, and we saw NiP get the same thing happening to them yesterday on Cobble, but I don't see this one ending well for Dignitas. I think they're going to be focusing on Mirage now. We know that's their map, and they'll be looking to come back on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see Forest with a bit of spam through the smoke there on the middle area, but so far it's looking quite grim indeed. Just looking at the resources in play for either side for Dignitas. Pimp will go through the smoke though and find himself a quick pick, but already 2 of his mates have gone down to the rifles of NiP, and Exist will finish off Pimp. So it's just on Kirby now with the FAMAS. And he's going to get taken out by the AWP value. 16-4, and Dignitas could never get it going on the first half, and that's where the game was really lost for them.
Yeah, a change of form for NiP. Yeah, they looked a little bit ropey yesterday. They kind of didn't really turn up to the SK game. It was like until overtime almost. They looked really strong there. It didn't look like for a moment they were ever going to lose that one. Not really doing anything too spectacular. Just kind of relying on individual talent and kind of making sure they hit their shots. Some great play there from Forest as well. I liked it as soon as they got out the AWP set up on CT side. They really kind of stepped up their game. Forest was getting those surprise entry frags, and Ali was kind of patrolling middle in the way he does so well. So yeah, really solid stuff from them. Like I said before, I really do expect Dignitas to step it up on Mirage. That's their map. We know how well they can do on it. And they said last time they made a lot of mistakes against NiP in their map, and I think they've probably rectified those and looking to actually take that one.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I felt like Dignitas had like a nice philosophy on cash. Like, you know, they were saying, okay, we're going to save. We care more about our own economy. We're going to try to like make sure we have our good buy rounds going. We have a plan for the buy rounds. But we saw a lot of spots where they just went for like these B contact plays. I think there's 2 big buy rounds where they just ran a B. So instead of trying to like slowly take map control or go for, you know, better executes, they kind of like gave it up and put it into chance, really, just shoving all in straight away with a B push.
And they were just getting locked down by complete crossfires.
Exactly,
like Freiburg could just face from checkers for one moment, and then Forest could face with the AWP, and then just getting pulled apart left, right, and centre. And ultimately, that was just a really bad call. I think that would have worked mid-round had they have shown the presence in the middle, and they've done gone for some picks, or kind of even like just thrown some smokes out away, and then gone for that kind of play. Yeah,
because maybe even NiP by that point don't have the nades.
Exactly.
Because that's what really killed them.
Yeah, and then they're walking into full utility from NiP at the start of the round. Like ultimately, like that's never going to work for you. You need to show some sort of presence across the map and like at least force the NiP to lock you out of the map at the start. So disappointing stuff from them. Hopefully, it's they can see them step up in the next map. But we're going to take a quick break now, and don't go anywhere. We're going to be bringing you map 2 between NiP and Dignitas.
I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it.
I'm on it.
I'm on it.
My life will never be the same. Feeling the love I'm on. Time is fleeting, you say. When I grab your hand, you turn away. We chased after the sun and the fading light of day. Watch the broken shore slip away. Hold me close till I hit the ground. Never know that the only sound is my heartbeat like a hummingbird. Hear my heartbeat like a hummingbird. Like a hummingbird.
Alright guys, welcome back here to Gfinity Summer Masters, where we're watching NiP and Dignitas. We're going to map 2 very shortly, which will be Mirage. Last time these two faced off was actually very recently, 2 weeks ago, and it was at DreamHack Summer, and it was actually a 9-16 score, if I'm not mistaken, on Mirage. So right. For NiP, so they managed to best Dignitas, and this is the map that they're pretty good at. So
well, it's the one they definitely favour. We see them play it almost every game. They'll try and mix it in there. Like if it doesn't get vetoed, it will be there for them. What's good about Dignitas is T-side setup especially as well. They're very good at getting the map control and getting the CTs into difficult positions where they don't have, let's say, control of middle area. They can fall back, do complete smoke control onto A, and kind of make the CTs do a lot of mistakes. Like we see them pushing through smokes and having to play against Dignitas in that sort of sense. But yeah, I see this one being a lot closer. Like the 16-4 we saw last game was pretty unconvincing. We saw a lot of like kind of bad calls, I would say. To the extent like it was like actually bad like situations they got themselves into, like for walking into the B storage area as a 5 and just hoping it works out for them, not getting any presence on the map whatsoever. I expect to see a completely different story on Mirage. They'll actually be playing the map in their favour. Actually, there's a map who's very heavily relied on set pieces and actually getting map control to start.
Yeah, I mean, I agree completely. Like, one of the things NiP are always going to be very strong at on their CT side is just staying put and playing their basic team play setups.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to get rid of the nades. You need to try to create a situation where you're forcing them into rotations, forcing them to maybe make a lot of decisions on the move, which can force mistakes that you can capitalize on. That's something that we didn't really see Dignitas try to exploit. And I think I agree completely. Actually, I think we know that Dignitas have the tools when it comes to what's in their playbook, as well as what's in their individual skill and their experience, to make a much closer result there. So I would hope that we see some stronger calling on what is more of a home map for them. And I expect to see that someone like MSL always in connector. That this used to be a thing for them, that they would always push him in there. And then from that, when you have that basis of control, or that basic, you can do anything. You can try A pushes. You can be if you want to go for a B, then he's like lurking. He can cut off rotation. He can add to the push if it's an A.
As soon as they get him into that position, he can hear so much. He can hear the rotations, what's going on. He can call what the CTs are doing. So at that stage, it's really incredible information he can gather. And at that point, he's the one calling essentially. He can say, okay, guys, we can hear rotations going towards B. Let's go for back to the A ramp, cause a complete ace take here. And I think we'll see a lot more a tactical approach from them instead of kind of having the panic plays of walking into bomb sites all together and just hoping they make the frags. So ultimately, which isn't going to work against a team like NiP, who are kind of very good at team play. They have very natural chemistry. Like it almost looks like a robotic and very clinical. They're always facing at the right times, kind of playing off each other's strengths and stuff. Freiburg and Forest showed that perfectly on the B bomb site on Cash, sorry, just then.
And yeah, one of the reasons why NiP started to even pick this map is completely because now they have Alu, and Alu adds so much. They needed a strong AWPer to play proper Cash and proper Mirage, and now they have that strong AWPer in play in Alu. So we're going to see a lot of stuff from him. He's often generating a lot of highlight reels. I think he's super comfortable in this map, and he plays in middle, around A, around connector and stuff, and he can just do a lot of stuff. So I think it'd be very hard for them to actually challenge him directly. I think they're going to need to find a way to try to avoid that.
He's just really reliable. Like, you can know once he's holding down middle, like, you just know he's going to play that position well. He's always going to pick up 1 or 2 frags. He's not going to allow them to kind of shoot his teammates in the back. He's just going to be there. He's solid, and he doesn't move around too much. He will just kind of lock down that mid area, but he does it so well that you can kind of just keep him there and know it's a solid bet.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, again, it looks like NiP will be starting on the CT side, which is really unfortunate for Dignitas.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they... The thing is, though, I do have confidence in Dignitas for their T sides. Again, we know that they have the playbook, they have the individual skill. It's just like making the right calls and kind of hitting the shots, because at the end of the day, it's Counter-Strike. But we're into the pistol round. What are we going to see here? Looks like Dignitas want to go for a B play. MSL's actually in the middle, looking to get himself up short and get some damage done, just show some presence, keep NiP guessing as to what's going on. And I think Getro's going to hear the stepping. They know it's going to be a B right now, as the bomb site is assaulted by multiple Danes. Getrite in a very nice position. They haven't spotted him. He could pop out at any moment. There it is, going to go for it, trying to take down the bomber. And oh, Kirby's got a bullet straight for Getro's head, and it's going to be now Alu coming back in to trade some frags. And Dignitas are locking down these positions quite well, but NiP trying to get in through short now. That's their major attack, and Forest will be leading that charge, taking down AZ. Alu comes in, but again, Kirby with another great frag is going to make it into a 2-on-2. Bomb is starting to tick faster and faster, and there's no kit on NiP. They cannot afford to wait any more time here. Nico's going to get the frag, and that should be it right now, as there just isn't the time. And he's going to get the burst straight into Exist's face, and it's going to be a round for Dignitas on the T side.
Yeah, that was really nice. The fact that MSL was in there, like, they put up the short smoke there, kind of locked off the vision. MSL was showing a lot of presence in middle. Actually pulled this NiP out of B. Getrite was left there alone, and he almost played that perfectly. Had he just kind of peeked around a second earlier and kind of stopped the bomb going down, that could have been a different story. They made it very competitive and got it down to a one-on-one situation. But like you said, no kits. There was no real chance for them to get back into that one. And Getrite now has got the shotgun out, and they have got CZs in the armor as well. They do fancy their chances in this one, and I'll be interested to see how it goes down. Now, as long as Dignitas stay together, use their rifles effectively, and use the Tech 9 to scout, etc., they should be okay.
Nice frag from Exist with the CZ. That gun is so strong still these days. And as you say, you know, Dignitas, they'll actually be discovering that, hey, B is for free at the moment, and they will take that happily and get the bomb down and try to lock down these choke points. And it should be impossible for NiP to burst out of this shop area. Although Forest is getting some nice tags onto Pimp, and AZ being so low as well, he's not going to want to peek at all. So it's only really Nico and Kirby who can kind of peek into some of these angles, but it's okay. They've got good coverage at the moment as NiP encroach for the exit kills, and they could do a lot of damage here on these exits, and that's what they're aiming to do. Now, how many members of Dignitas can they force to die, whether it be through the bomb explosion or through the straight up exit? Here you go, Ali picks up one with the P250, trying to save for that AWP, and 2 members down here for Dignitas so far. Looks like that is going to be it here. Exist and Getrite will save their weapons, although Getrite's going pretty fast towards Vent. Okay, he's going to survive. So 2-0 now for Dignitas.
Yeah, after Forest and Exist got so low there, I thought they both could have saved their CZs and armor and kind of invested into the next round, especially after they got a couple of picks there quite early on. But we can see there that they have managed to save the shotgun, especially on Getrite. And Dignitas doing this quite clever play as well. They've got the 2 scout players there that can go into the bomb sites first, ascertain where the CTs are, and then play off that. The rifles can come in as the artillery, the backup, and kind of lock down any long-range picks that are available. So getting that mid-control early on, you can see this is going to be kind of standard round here, working the picks, seeing what's available, and they're trying to open up the round in the next few seconds.
Actually, Forrest got a dink there with his USP.
It's unsilenced USP.
Yeah.
He's kind of trying to change the way that gun works. Okay,
well, it's gonna you just remove the advantage of the gun, but it's all right. It's okay. Pimp is gonna take him down anyway. Won't matter. I just can't get the frag done this time. And once again, we got Dignitas kind of just fact finding and coming out pretty well, just getting the bomb site, which was for free. And these ecos, or this eco rather, from NiP is not going to do all that much. It would be really nice if Getrite could try to find himself a frag here. That would be excellent. The extra money from the shotgun, as well as just, I mean, he's going to rebuy next round anyway, so There it is. MSL will finish him off. So everyone survives for Dignitas. They're doing quite well on the money so far.
Yeah, they're approaching these anti-ecos perfectly. The fact that they're allowing the SMGs to go in first, and even those guys die, like the AKs are coming in and watching those points, are just gathering information. And if they can get a couple of frags as well, it's just excellent work for them. As we said, Alu will be getting the AWP out here. We know he plays middle. He's very solid at it. Nico was going to be AWPing him, challenging as well. We can see all 5 players going into these B apartments here. Be interesting to see if this is a similar sort of round they're doing on Cash, like a contact sort of approach to a bomb site. And it looks like they actually will be going for a more tactical approach. Instead of just walking straight into the site, they will be smoking off the key choke points and probably trying to do a quick first gun round, getting in all together and seeing what happens for them.
Yeah, Garrett's going to have to fall back from his position. Forrest will get a quick frag there onto MSL. Gets that second one. Has to switch weapons, but he won't get the opportunity. Trey's coming in, and the players of B for NiP did quite a good job because now they're in a 3-on-2 retake on the B bomb side. But that bomb is down. Oh, Alu cannot afford to miss a single shot, and he'll miss 2. And now it's just on Exist and Freiburg as they make their way in. Freiburg's coming in from short right now. He's going to try to tap down a few shots, but Pimp with a good response. It's all on AZ now for Dignitas. As in comes Exist, but AZ gets the kill. The big fragger for Dignitas delivers, and Dignitas will take another round. And Henry, I got to say I was surprised that Dignitas went for a fast play because NiP, they had 5 or 6 grenades total in that round at the start.
Well, I feel like that round would have gone in the favour of NiP, but a rare miss from Alu there. Like we saw him miss not 1 but 2. Like that was a shot we normally see him hit all day long, and that was the factor I think at the end of the day. If he hit that shot, that was a guaranteed round for NiP. And the fact that it looks like Dignitas actually going for an almost identical round, straight up B rush here. You can see they've actually again smart play, getting the SMGs out, for they know what they were up against, and getting the SMGs to kind of scout out the CTs, and you can see Get Right actually picking up a nice little deagle headshot there, and he knows a terrorist going to be coming towards him.
Yeah, it's interesting so far because NiP have shown those A stacks with the eco. Now this could be very much a familiarity thing here for Dignitas. Studying the demos of NiP, having played them at DreamHack as well, I'm 100% sure that they would have gone over those demos from DreamHack. Oh yeah, definitely. And so they probably saw that pattern, that trend, that when NiP are in a force up or a pistol buy, that they probably stack towards A. But now what Dignitas could do is next time they force an eco, to just like go for a quick A rush to try to mind game NiP, who might then stack B. We'll have to see when that comes in. But all back onto Alu. Are they going to go for just a super fast execute on A?
I think they're in the zone now. They've got nothing to lose. 5 rounds up. Like they can just keep doing quite like experimental stuff straight off the bat, full executions, and as long as they can keep this momentum up, like it's going to be devastating for NiP if they lose this round. But as we said, there is going to be a really easy shutdown here, and NiP are back getting their first round on the board. Real easy cleanup for them, and not even dropping a single frag or any HP for that matter.
Yeah, this is how we saw them throw away some of the advantages in the last match as well, where they just kind of go for the all-in shove without trying to edge out some advantages, playing it slow in the round. We're going to see Freiburg with an excellent spray down. The guy's known for ridiculous spray control, and that's what we're going to see in that little clip there. So good defense there from NiP, sticking to the tried and tested. Awesome team play setups, and now we're going to have Dignitas using that money after losing a round, seeing if they can just break NiP straight away. We have more of a pick-based round from them. Alu's going to go and challenge out in middle. They are flashed at the moment. There's the peek. Alu's going to find the shot. Good calling actually from Forrester, who I think spotted the players towards top mid and their positions, allowing Alu to know where to aim. And that's the AWP down there on the ground as Nico has fallen. So 4 versus 4 here is still a decent situation for Dignitas.
Absolutely. They need to, like, it's the same situation Nipper and Larson. They need to get some information. You can see them pushing up short there. Exist needs to get some big frags here, and I think he might be able to pick up a couple, make that 3, not quite. MSL takes him down, and Get Right takes down MSL, and it's going to be Kojabi in the final man for Dignitas, and that's the second round in a row for NiP, and looks like they're kind of finding their feet now. Alu making some important frags. We saw Forrest pushing the underpass there, so he actually got taken down, so like it looked like the round was actually going to go in favour of Dig again, but Alu, we know how strong and consistent he is in middle, manages to pick up an important frag, and this will be a force buy from Dignitas now.
Yeah, the interesting thing there is that we saw the player going, a player for Dignitas just running up connector, but he was so far away from his teammates that they couldn't trade him. And so Get Right ended up almost getting 3 kills there. I thought, well, sorry, it was Forrest, I think. But yeah, here comes the play into B from Dignitas on the eco. They have a few nades to work with, so just waiting at the moment. But it feels like NiP have a good read that this is a very likely round here for the Danes, and they're going to make their way in now. Get Right just playing himself into this rush, not having any fear at all, just staying up there on the platform. He's finally going to go down though. Kirby getting a double on the entry, and the bomb is planted. Weapons are being picked up here. Pimp with the only guy with the Kevlar has the M4, so maybe they can do something to hold this off, especially if Alu's missing shots like this. NiP moving in now for that retake, and Freiburg goes up short. Guns down Kirby, but Pimp is still waiting by the car. And he needs AZ to do something here to just alleviating this distraction. Oh, and AZ's going to get a frag with that P250. Down goes Pimp. It's all on AZ, 13 HP, only a P250. And friberg, he's running out of time here. He hasn't got much more time to wait, and he will just in time pick up that frag and have enough time to go for the defuse. But it's close. And that is another round for NiP, but they lost everyone almost.
Yeah, that was like actually quite interesting. Gfry staying up there for so long. He was so confident in his ability. Like some good flashes there, but ultimately Dignitas took the advantage at the beginning of the round. Alu, again, missing quite a vital shot there. One that most orbers would hit 90% of the time. And that's the second time that's happened on the B retakes there. So quite interesting now. But now, this is where I find NiP to be at their strongest when they have the double AWP set up. Forest picking up as well. He can be the one doing the surprise frags. Alu, like we said, won't move around too much. He'll just be locking down middle, playing it very well, picking up 1 or 2 frags. But this is when NiP really excel when they have this set up, I feel.
Okay, so bit of a slow play again. Dignitas trying to take that mid. At the moment, we've got 2 players in connector for NiP. Now, they have 2 AWPs in play as well, so this is very scary for Dignitas. Can they take connector away? Well, they have the forward smoke. This is something we see quite often from them as well, to try to take control. But oh my goodness, Ali picks up the kill there onto AZ, and Gfry and Forest also finding frags towards mid, and it's going to be a completely decimated Dignitas offense. What are they going to throw at NiP now? There's just 2 players left. The bomb's down at top mid. They need to really go MacGyver mode at the moment, and Forest picks up another kill with that AWP.
That's what's being so important. If they can allow him to play a bomb side by himself, like we saw him doing Cash as well, he will hit those shots all day long. Great work by him, and that's going to be a really, really important round for NiP. And that's their 4th in a row, in fact. And they're seeming to find the momentum now. We can see Dignitas, their money's okay. They could force this, but it'll be a definite force. And you can see they're kind of contemplating it now where they're going to go with this. I'd imagine it'd probably be a Tech-9 sort of buy. Yeah, I know Tech-9 smokes here. Looking probably to execute on A perhaps, maybe another B round where they kind of get all the smokes, and they managed to actually win one of those rounds. Well, actually no, it came down to 1-on-1 with friberg, right? So that worked for them last time, so I think they'll probably be trying that again.
Yeah, they got Smokey mid there just to have a little bit of obscurity to what's going on, delay the rotation just a little bit, make it harder for NiP to know what's happening. But in they creep, just waiting for the smoke now. Will they push through it, or will they wait? The longer they wait, the less likely the push is to work, which is why those smokes are so good. As NiP over time will start to figure out what's going on. And Gfry's just standing there large and in charge up on the car as Ali peeks out to mid. He's going to spot nothing and relay this information to his team. So Gfry ready with the mouse 2 pop flash, self pop flash there. On the apartments.
They know what's going on here. You got Forest in the window getting those easy frags as they run along, almost like the shooting gallery, and Gfry will just be there to kind of clear them up as they're trying to concentrate on him. This is going to work perfectly for them. Look at that.
There it is, the spray from Gfry. 3 instant kills, and just as you said, Forest picking up the shot with 1 running across, like shooting fish in a barrel here for NiP as all the Danes are down in the B apartments. And Kirby is looking for Gfry, but he's not peeking. He's not going to give it up, and it's going to be Ali who's going to get the angle first. Oh no, it's actually going to be Forest. So all the AWPs, all the time. NiP with 5 rounds back to back here to put Dignitas in a pretty awful spot, but they're going to eke out a buy. AWP comes into Nico once again.
That was so nice from Gfry there. That's absolutely perfect setup for them. The fact Forest managed to pick up that initial frag just kind of like surprised the team so much. You weren't sure where it was coming from, and Gfry just gets a really nice easy spray down. See, Nico here will actually be trying to challenge mid perhaps. He knows that, oh, it's actually Forest middle now. It's quite surprising. A complete change of setup here. Where's Alu set up at the moment?
Gfry playing the spawns. Alu's in connector by the stairs at the moment. And Gfry's going to take some damage in the early little battles there by the B apartments. Oh, he's actually going down to 4 HP, and a lot of trouble, has to back away. Does have the AWP support though, and Exist is starting to feel the heat towards connector, but he's going to take down 2 players. I don't believe it right there. Dignitas needed the trade so badly. Where is it? Nico's there in middle, all alone with the AWP, and he's not knowing what to do really. He has to back away into a safer position. Pimp is going to be there to just help him out just a little bit now from underpass. But right now, they're kind of waiting for NiP to give them something. Oh, and Gfry's going to give Pimp a frag. So could have a round now for Dignitas. Now they get an opening. But how are they going to use it? There's 40 seconds left. We do have the bomb going towards B apartments. And also, I think it's Pimpy will be joining the bomber as we get distraction by Kirby run here towards A. Now, if Kirby can pick up a frag, he can really sell this, but Forrest is going to spot one player. I don't know if he spotted the bomb just yet, but they know that there's a bit of split going on. The rotation's happening already. Kirby did not commit from Palace, so it's a really fast rotation here from NiP. Dignitas need to go in fast. They have to get the frags instantly, and Pimp is going to do just that. And Alu misses another shot there. Pimp picks up the double, and now it's all on Freiburg, who's been delivering for his team, but can he do it in this 1 versus 2 clutch? 5 seconds left. Bomb is going to go down. Oh no. Okay, just in time. All right, I'm calming down. It's fine. It's fine, guys.
It's all fine.
Okay, so Freiburg now working this 1-on-2, but Kirby's got a better angle, and they make it happen there. So really well done. And again, it comes down to Alu missing some of these shots.
That's being a big factor in this game. The fact that on these retakes, he's missing really vital shots, that like is separating them, winning rounds and losing them. That's happened 2 or 3 times so far. And it's like the shots he should be hitting in middle, he seems to be finding no problem at all getting his form. But as soon as he goes to B, he seems to kind of get a little bit panicky and missing those the shots we see him hit all day long yesterday. But here we go, another chance there, another missed shot for Alu, and that's going to give Dignitas the mid control now. What are they able to do with it?
And they've double AWP running. They've got Pimp trying to pick B, and this is going to work. Oh, that could have worked so well. Getright would never have expected the AWPer to be there. They just saw the AWPer in mid, so they would have thought, okay, I can peek here, it's going to be fine, and he gets away unpunished. But AC's going to pick up a frag, and NiP are feeling a lot of pressure now. Exist needs to be able to hold on to Connector. If NiP lose Connector in a situation like this, it's going to be curtains for them. There'll be too many good options for Dignitas to run away with. But Dignitas themselves are actually falling back a little bit. Looks like they want to maybe go for a bit of a delayed execute.
This is the perfect round to do it. Like the fact you've managed to get that pick and kind of force the CTs back. You can see Freiburg's alone there on the A bomb side right now. If they can do a full A execute here, this is going to be absolutely perfect. You can see them kind of setting themselves up here. It just matters how they execute it. Will they just walk out and try and work the frags, or they're actually going to go for the full wall of smoke going down?
Yeah, so far it's actually looking like they don't have actually many smokes, only a couple smokes. Now, do those players know the right smokes as well? Well, Freiburg is very close. As you say, he can get isolated so easily. He's going to have to deliver a massive series of kills. In they come right now. They're lining up a little bit. Freiburg with that M4 4. We should expect quite the spray down as he is still in shadow, but nice double peek there coming from Dignitas. MSL with a great entry. Exist as well by the toll booth, trying to thin out the push. Can they stop the bomb from going down though? It looks like the answer will be no for now, and Exist goes for the peek. He's going to get completely destroyed as it's just Alu left. He's been missing a lot of AWP shots, but can he deliver it in this clutch situation when all the heat is on, all the pressure is on his shoulders at the moment? Dignitas could be pulling off that sick round. Oh, what a shot there from Alu over the crate. It's going to drop Kirby straight away. There's 2 more players to find. He does have a kit as well, but still that bomb is ticking quite fast at this point. Oh, he sees a shoulder, misses the shot. Pimp is going to make it work, and Alu again. You can really see his frustration there just for a little bit.
Well, that was really interesting for Dignitas. Like normally, from their sort of side, we expect them to kind of telegraph exactly where they're going at that moment, full smokes over and take it. But they actually opted to walk out on the contact setup, and that actually worked really well for them. It's like Freiburg was stuck in that shadow area, wasn't able to get that information. They took him down straight away, and that was the turning point there. Alu did seem to find some form, hit quite a nice shot, but ultimately it's been a very quiet game for him. He hasn't really been able to light up the scoreboard too much, and this is where the momentum shifted again. Like we can see Dignitas now picked up 2 in a row, and it's going to be an almost forced buy for NiP here. You can see 2 Famises there. And this could be a very important round indeed. Like NiP need to win this one, and they could be looking down the barrel of a double eco.
So Freiburg looking to redeem here. Close position here by the A slope. Can he pick up the multiple kills? Spots the first one. They're going to know where he is. He peeks out again, instantly taken down by Kirby on the entry. Really strong push into the bomb site from Dignitas so far, but 3 versus 2 for them. Looks like Forrest is in a good position, but Nico's going to drop him straight away, and now Getright's going to have to sprint in from CT spawn. Has to walk now that he gets a little bit closer. He's got a 1-on-2 here. The flash goes in. The bomb does need to go down, actually, so he does have a moment. Oh, and he's going to pick up the frag. There's the second peek, but he can't get it done. Pimp gets the kill onto Getright. Dignitas pick up the round, and they have got themselves an 8-5 scoreline. This is looking like a very strong half from Dignitas, as now NiP have no money to buy with.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy from Dignitas at the end there. The only place he could have actually died from was CT spawn, and Pimp took his concentration off that and almost threw the round away, but luckily managed to get the spray through the smoke, and that's going to leave NiP in a very difficult situation now. You can see the momentum, and actually winning the half as T is amazing. Like, it looked like NiP found their form and got back into it, but they haven't won a round in 3 now, so Dignitas in a very strong position indeed.
Yeah.
Clean up time.
Yeah, it's easy. Got the vacuum cleaners out. And no frags there for NiP, so nothing in consolation And Dignitas, they could actually finish this half 10-5. And the thing is, though, I mean, if they were to win this map, going into an Inferno against NiP is always really scary, but we have all the AWPs out again. Alu's on the AWP. We've got NiKo on the AWP as well, and Pimp as well. And that's been working for them. Pimp and NiKo AWPing on T side.
Pimp going towards the B apartments there, looking for any frag he can. He knows that NiP like to face him, potentially play one player there. I don't think he's going to get a challenge this time. He'll have to just hold out and just give that information away. But NiP kind of just holding a kind of pretty traditional round here. Forrest actually trying to get some information in the middle, and doesn't really get much of it. The smokes is locking out his vision there.
Yeah, this is a really crucial round for NiP to pick up. 9 rounds on T side is very devastating already, but it could get worse for them. Exist, gonna go down to NiKo. Nice little pick there from him. A second one found by NiKo. He is on fire at the moment in this round, as Alu is gonna swing by. Oh, NiKo gets the third one. And now it's just Freiburg and GetRight that are left thinking, you know, what the hell's going on, guys? You're all dead, and Dignitas can do whatever the hell they want. So we got GetRight there going for the spot. That was a close one there from Pimp. I think GetRight just got a haircut as Freiburg is looking to defend Connector against 3 players. Not going to happen as NiKo gets a 4th kill. This guy is going absolutely ham in this round. Finally, he's going to go down to GetRight, but he did more than enough work to shut them down. And a 10-5 scoreline is what we're going to see from Dignitas on their T side of Mirage. Yeah,
they actually took a leaf out of NiP's book there for that T side. Like, they weren't really relying on the executions or the set pieces. They actually just working as a team, working the frags, getting that mid control, and then relying on that. And it seemed like the most important factor for me was the Alu factor. Like, he didn't seem to show up to that game at all. Like, the retakes especially, they were very important rounds. He was missing big shots, and like ultimately you can't miss his ones if you want to win rounds. And they lose 10-5 in the CT half, and that's going to be devastating for them. This pistol could be very important indeed. You can see it looks like a full-on A take here, a nice quick one. They'll be locking off some vision with the smokes. It's kind of piling out together.
But the bomb is actually going to be, this is like the matchmaking strategy. Rush A and a single bomb. The bomb carrier goes towards B, and it's actually going to be nice entries by NiP. Bomb is not even going to be a factor at this rate as these kills come in, but we're starting to see the returns here from Dignitas as they go 3-on-3, but the bomb is going to be planted towards B as they will discover this a little bit too late. And there's no kit on the 2 remaining players here for MSL. Oh no, but MSL is going to pick it up from the A-bomb site. So MSL gets the kill into Alu as well. He's speeding on over from shop now, bringing the kit into the fight. And we have a player from apartments for NiP. It's actually Exist. Exist could be the difference, the X factor in this round for NiP as they 2-on-1 against Forest. Exist comes in now. That bomb very exposed for him, but he needs to get past Pimp first of all. And oh, such brilliant play there from Dignitas. They're going to pick up the round with the defuse. 2 frags from MSL, 3 from Pimp. That's amazing.
Pimp has been like one of my favourite players to watch for the last couple of months. I think he's really stepped up his game, especially on Mirage as well. He seems to be doing some absolutely fantastic work, and that looked so strong from NiP at the beginning. The fact that GetRight picked up those 2 very important frags, especially on the round, like he's selling a fake like that, you would expect him to kind of almost roll that one after that. But a great retake by those guys, and they managed to get themselves straight back into it. And you can see that's going to force NiP to eco this one. They will be buying up next round, considering they got the bomb down. But as long as Dignitas don't do anything too silly here, this should be quite an easy cleanup for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see them trying to get GetRight on a 1 deeg there in mid. It's not going to happen. He does get a tag onto NiKo though, so you never know with the deagle. But full save from them, so we and Dignitas will expect their NiP in the following round to have that AK buy. And but it's just about surviving economically here for Dignitas. They don't want to lose any players. And we've got NiP moving up the B apartment slowly but surely, and Kirby looking for that huge spray down with the FAMAS. There's number 1, and the extra players there are being found here, and oh, it's just going to be saved there by AZ. And it's just Forest left, so actually a lot of players going down very low for Dignitas, but they lost only 1, so they're going to be happy.
I think NiP knew that was going to be an almost throwaway round. They're opting for this one, the full AK buy, and this is good from Dignitas. They've actually got the rifles in play. They haven't got SMGs, so they won't have to do anything too risky. Play a normal round here. NiKo on the scout as well. We know how deadly that weapon can be, especially when you don't have the sniper to face against. So if he can get some tags off and some information in the middle, that's going to be a very crucial factor here. You see here, Forrest facing fast. Is he going to be able to smoke them off in time? And he will. And that's going to almost take NiKo out of this round for at least a good 30 seconds.
Oh, Freiburg gets a kill from Chair into short onto Pimp, and that's going to mean things are going to go a little bit sore, or be a little bit sore here for Dignitas, and it looks like Forrest doesn't want to stop. He's not even going to wait for his team. He's just going to charge up short, lead the way into that B-bomb site, and we're going to have what looks like a saving situation potentially here from Dignitas. They don't want anything to do with this. They have a scout on Nico. They got loads of nades. They got a lot of equipment at the moment.
Well, as soon as they took Nico out of the game and like Forrest got those 2 big headshots on shore, like there's almost no point in trying to retake that. Like it's a very difficult situation when the T's get set up with AKs. They've got more firepower than you, and especially when you've got so many rounds to play with, it's not worth putting yourself in that economic deficit and kind of saving the guns. I think that's a nice, wise and informed decision by them.
Absolutely. So it's like one of those spots where we have a big lead. We have to work out how can we get the most buy rounds out of this, and this is definitely very strong. Some teams will try to go in for this. This is like the 5–10% success rate retake basically, but Dignitas are smarter than that, which is really good to see actually. And not enough teams play the conservative play in spots like this.
Especially like at this sort of level, I hate it sometimes seeing the force buys you see at this level of CS, and you see so many teams almost throw games away by trying to force a round out that wasn't needed, especially when they have the advantage. But here we go, you can see this is why. Dignitas have another full buy here, and they learned from the last round what went wrong, and they should be able to lock this down a lot more play, a lot more passive. But as we say that, they're actually getting some mid control here and actually challenging terrorists at top and middle, and it should be a kill in their favour. And it goes down to a through and through, which does favour the T's at the moment. You can see them actually getting some A control here, and another very difficult round for them to retake. Once the bomb goes down here, and then these kind of smoked off positions, like you have to kind of consider whether it's worth going for it again.
Yeah, I think this is quite doable here, especially now Pimp got a fast frag. That makes all the difference as Dignitas can try to make their way in. He's on fire in this this map for his team, but he's going to get taken out by Exist. But AZ on the other side of things will push the pressure onto Ali, force him out of the palace position and actually kill him altogether. So now we have this 1-on-2 situation for Exist. Looking for the clutch, but he's behind the smoke. He can't see anything. Oh, they both run in the way, and Exist gets both frags. He had his reticle firmly placed on where the bomb was through the smoke. He had no doubt that that was going to happen, and Exist is going to make it a nice save there for his team. Yeah,
really clever play from him. And you saw him drop the Molotov on the bomb to begin with. It meant no fake plants could come in at all. So he knew where the bomb was. Molotov was down, no diffuser could come. The only thing Dignitas really could do is kind of use the human shield tactic of one diffusing and one kind of defending him. And that's what they tried to employ and got completely mowed down. So great, smart play from Exist there.
Yeah, using that smoke was a lot of full sense of security there for Dignitas. We're going to have the Frivo pushing in. I like the aggressive smoke there to help take Connector, and hell, they're going to take all the frags as well. Yeah, we're going to find an extra one on towards B as well. Kirby hits the ground, and Dignitas, they don't do any damage in this round to NiP. So NiP starting to claw their way back. Very well done by them to bring things back so quickly after losing the pistol. And we'll start to see their money rise and rise and rise as Dignitas is definitely looking quite terrible. They need to get things under control in this round because they're really at risk of losing momentum here.
Well, they've managed to get the AWP out on Nico now. This is when things come a lot more controlled in middle. He can actually afford to face. And we can look at this. You can see the full control into A here. Looks like they might actually be faking this one. You can see the bomb going back towards B. So they're trying to sell a fake here. The entry man, Freiberg himself, is going to have to make a frag to make this convincing. And this is all going to come down to the next frag here. Like Freiberg has to sell some sort of fake.
Yeah, he needs to do something here. And so far he's not doing all that much. In fact, actually they could even go around through Connector at the moment and trying to like just double fake it up. We'll have to see. Freiberg's actually rotating back though, so that's very indicative of the B, and indeed they're going up short at the moment and seeing what they can find. So NiP looking to get that wrap onto B. We've got two players here defensive on it though. Dignitas, I think they've pretty much figured out what's going on at this point. So their rotate is going to start to happen as they confirm what they suspect is happening, and indeed they'll play for that. But Forrest is getting the picks into the bomb site. Pimp is now alone. He's going to go down to Exist, and that was very well done by NiP. This should be so hard for Dignitas to retake. Retaking with an AWP, B with an AWP is really hard. So Nico's not going to want to even risk it, which is very smart. And again, similar situation from before.
Like when that round went down, I kind of assumed Dignitas had that one in the bag. Like NiP had nothing left to kind of go into B with, especially after they left it so long. They did their full smoke take onto A. You expected Freiberg to do more damage. He needed to kind of make a frag to sell that a little bit more, but decided to fall back and stay alive. That is went into B as a unit, managed to make that first frag and kept the important players, which was Nico, towards A, and he's had to kind of choose to save this now. Like we said, that is the smart play to do here. They still have the advantage and they're on the easier side, the favoured side. So this is another wise decision from them. They're not forcing the win out too early. They just want to make sure they keep the money factor on their side.
Even getting a couple exits as well, which is really nice. But yeah, this save is going to mean a hearty buy for Dignitas, as we'll see. I wonder what NiP are going to go with now, because they've actually shown you know a variety of openings so far. You know, a team that usually relied on a lot of picks, but
they can actually do what they did last round and actually go out with the smokes. That would be for me the best thing to do, like to do exactly what you did on that fake, but actually go out with them to kind of keep the CTs guessing. They were like, oh, they're doing the same round again, but this time they actually go out with it.
All right, well. Let's see if they go for the full committed play. Previously, Freiberg's been the one that has been really making these entries work, especially lately. His performances have been so much better. The only player in position to really deal with this is going to be actually MSL. He needs to do the Freiberg, get the spray down. He's only got an M4A1S, so not a lot of bullets in the chamber to use or in the magazine. So here we go. They're going to make the push in. MSL up by the Palace position. They're going to peek out. Good counter grenades from his team. Is going to blind some of these players as he drops down into shadow, looking for more, but it's Exist that he's going to find, and that's not going to go too well for him as NiP start to gain some ground onto the bomb site. And now it's going to be a bomb plant very soon. And if only they can get a smoke onto Nico, but they don't have any nades left really. It's just Getro's got Molotov. They're stuck at the moment. They can't make any more progress. They need to get the kills, and Ali's going to deliver one onto Pimp here as Getro goes for the lurk. Oh, but Nico with such a reaction will take down Getroid, leaving things onto Ali with the AK. 1 versus 3 now as he looks to try to take this bomb site, but Kirby is going to put an end to that, and it's going to be another round for Dignitas, putting faith in those buy rounds, and it looks like that faith was well placed.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit too obvious for NiP, like the fact I could even call what was going to happen before the round even started. It's obvious that Dignitas would probably see that coming as well. As soon as it came over and they did the fake last round, it's kind of a simple hold for Dignitas at that stage, and that's got them one step closer to match point now. Great round from them. We can see Alu has picked up the orb now, whether he'll challenge middle and try to take on Nico. He knows he's going to be there. It's a different story. You can actually see him up in the Palace area now, I think. He's just going to be holding off and waiting for his team to execute. The bomb is going to be waiting at T-spawn. So it's a classic NiP play that's kind of working out the map and seeing if there's any frags available to them.
Looks like they want to actually peek Nico on mid as well, but how long will Nico stick around? They are showing a bit of presence all over the place. And still they're just actually Forrest is wiggling there in middle still. Wiggling around. Been doing this for quite some time. That AD is strong in Forrest. He wants to go out there. He's antsy to get out there and get that frag onto Nico.
Let me go, guys. Let me go.
Yeah, exactly.
I got this.
Let him off his leash and let him look for the entries. And they're going to smoke off Nico. Very smart play. And that's going to allow Get Right straight out of underpass. We can start to see the kind of mid-take execute coming in from NiP as every man has a job. Every man has nades for specific purposes, and you can see Gary with the forward smoke. That's something that Dignitas usually do quite a lot as well, and the takeover connector, and they're going to move into the B play. So get right on the lurk. He's going to pick up a frag on that lurk as well, just cutting off AZ by the stairs, and Kirby needs to get frags here. Oh, he might see the barrel. Oh, he sees the first player, goes for the spray down here on the next one, gets a lot of damage, has to switch to the pistol. Alu cannot get it done again, and it's going to be Kirby with an excellent defense there in the B apartments, and now Nico comes into play, and there is a torrent of Dignitas players arriving onto the B site to completely shut down NiP, and that is exactly what happened right now. Dignitas, this is all Dignitas. 14-9. They look really good to close this map out.
Yeah, like we were talking about Dignitas before, getting in that connector area and getting that map control. NiP did that perfectly. Get right, getting in there and getting the lurk kill, as you mentioned. They just got so stifled in the apps there. The Kaibi's positioning there has locked him down completely. Like the fact they had an orb there, couldn't really lock him down, and that's a huge round. You can see the economy for NiP now has been completely destroyed. 2 Tech 9s in hand. They have got full utility and armor, so as well they will be playing this like a normal round, just using the Tech 9s as the scouters, as it were, but a very standard approach from them. Just looking at the map, seeing what's available, and Dignitas aren't giving anything away. They're not pushing up. They're not trying to get control on the map. They're just trying to lock down the key choke points and ensure NiP don't get the map control themselves.
Yeah, the double orb comes in again for Dignitas on this CT side instead. It works so well for them on the T side. That's pretty unusual, but we'll see if NiP can entry a bit better into middle this time. Last time they decided to just smoke away Dignitas. Now they're going to go for the same execute or something similar into middle just to take that initial map control. At this time they're going to work for the A play. Ali leading the charge through connector. Oh no, he's going to find AZ there, and AZ's going to defend quite well as Freiberg will get the return straight into the bomb site. He needs to get a fast frag. There's Nico though, delivering a headshot onto Freiberg. 3-on-2 here. NiP looking very laboured into this push as Pimp. Did he actually pass on? Oh, he gets the shot anyway. This goes down, and Forrest can't even get the gun in his hands. Can't even draw it before he gets sprayed down by Kirby. So another round here for Dignitas. That's going to push them onto map point here.
Yeah, I like an almost forced A split there from NiP going through the smoke. And the difference is between the CT sides of NiP and Dignitas is NiKo is hitting all of his shots. I mean, the ones that matter as they enter the bomb site, he's making sure he makes them count. And that was what Alu wasn't doing last half. And that's going to put Dignitas onto match point. Another force buy, of course, here from NiP. And it's going to be very difficult for them. With the lack of utility they have 2 smokes in their hands. They're going to have to do something like the contact B and kind of hope they can get in and get the first frag like we saw them do on one of their initial gun rounds.
Yeah, and it was Kirby who last time was able to shut this down, and that's one of the reasons why that, in fact, I think that's the main reason why that play didn't end up working. Kirby getting that double kill. Now, can he deliver again? He's actually fairly alone at the moment. He's going to toss in some nades to just delay this play a little bit, and they're going to go in. He's going to be able to call that to his team. Can he get into a safe position? He is actually fairly covered here, but he needs somebody to help crossfire with him, but he's going to go for the spray down. There's the bomb going down. Oh, he can't get more, though, but Pimp is going to take one down as well. That's going to put NiP down to 3 members. They still need to plant the bomb, and there's Dignitas players surrounding them. They're all over the place at the moment as NiP struggle to get anything done. It's just Get Right left with a Tech 9 with 32 HP and multiple Danes training their sights on him. That'll be 16-9. Dignitas will take map number 2 and force us to a 3rd map, Inferno.
Yeah, Dignitas looks so much stronger than what they did on Cash. They actually were playing their game properly, and although they went for a similar approach, they weren't really executing so much with the set pieces. They were actually doing a very similar mentality. Maybe that's something they've kind of changed up. That was the kind of difference in the mistakes they felt like they made. They were kind of relying too much on those execution, the strategy. They're actually working. There was a really good unit there, landing their shots and making sure they kind of crossfired very nicely as well. And yeah, NiP like kind of struggled, especially I mentioned before, Alu missing a lot of key shots and ultimately like destroying the economy when they got so many rounds in a row lost.
Yeah, a lot of shots missed by Ali. That's definitely very gutting. I'm very, very curious to see what our analysts have to say. I think they're ready for the throw, so I'm going to hand it over to you, Scoots.
Well, your prediction's spot on. We're 1-1. They've both won the map they have chosen. Some good stuff. Although, well, you guys said they're watching.
Well, I mean, good stuff definitely doesn't apply to Dignitas on Cash. I mean, that was absolutely awful, in fact. And there's no getting away from that. This is why I think they should have took a punt on Dust 2. Really surprised to see them ban that out. Even if it was Train, the inherent nature of the map and even if that had got through, that would have been a lot better than Cash. NiP are comfortable on Cash. They got a long history on Cash. They feel confident on it. Dignitas were absolutely awful. NiKo had no impact whatsoever. So, I mean, that's a comprehensive win. NiP are in the mood. Now, the reason that I thought Dignitas would be able to win Mirage is quite simply that they've got previous. They've played them recently on that map. It's clear they've sat and disseminated the demos and come up with the strats. But actually, it wasn't even so much about that. The game was very similar in terms of ebb and flow, but Alu was missing vital shots he wasn't missing yesterday, and that gave them that sort of just edge that Dignitas needed to tie this series up.
Yeah, I actually thought, bizarrely, considering it's a 1-1, this is actually very unconvincing performance from certain aspects of Dignitas. Like, Dignitas, okay, won reasonably comfortably on Mirage there, but that should have actually been a stomp. The way they were playing on T-side, they got like, I think they got like 9 rounds or something. They could have had like 12 or 13, I'm not joking. And all the difference was NiKo was terrible in this whole series. He had that 1 round at the end of the first half where he got the 4 kills. That got him to 7 kills for the half, by the way. I remember at one point, like 10 rounds in the game had gone by, and he had an ADR of 12 damage over 10 rounds, and he was buying AWPs every single time. So basically, they won that game almost 4v5, actually. Their team was actually rolling there. So what's stupid is they should have been like, okay, NiP beat us convincingly on the first map. Nothing was going there. NiKo wasn't going there either. Second map should have actually been our really convincing win. And now we go into the third one. Like, hey, we can win this one, you know. Whereas that actually there was a pretty solid team performance. But I don't know how you're going to survive if that happens again. If he does that for a third map in a row, I think that's going to be the killer for you. That's like obviously they won that map, but that's like a warning sign right there. 2 maps in a row, he's been really bad. I want to see going into a third one, is he going to survive that? Is he going to come back to life? It's not 2013 anymore. I've got to give up on you now, NiKo. It's like, I've been waiting a year and a half, mate. I can't keep talking about stuff from April 2013. Like, you've got to do something in 2015.
I think the key point there as well is that, you know, it's Inferno. You need your AWP to come up big. You know, if NiKo's not capable of putting a performance in on Inferno, then you've got to give it to NiP, especially seeing how well they played it yesterday against SK. So, yeah, it's... The series is poised. I think it can be exciting, but definitely you would have to say at the moment that NiP are favourites to take it on, on Inferno.
Especially because one thing I don't see happening that happened on Mirage here was how off Alu was.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that he was missing
really
shots.
off, though.
Yeah. It's okay to miss shots. He missed shots so much that eventually he just couldn't even go in the window room. And as a result, they gave up the mid entirely. Yeah. And then it wasn't even that Dignitas had some amazing strats. When they had full mid control, they could just toy with NiP, and NiP was playing super passive. Like, what's unusual is normally if teams constantly take mid control like that, you just send people for scouting information, or send someone behind, or because NiP had no clue where they were going, they were just afraid to do it. They just sat in their sights and they hoped people ran into their crosshairs. And if everyone's on top of their game, that default style, that'll work. But at the moment in this game, most of the NiP players weren't doing particularly well, and particularly Alu was really struggling.
Yeah, I mean, Freiburg and Exist have been really good, really consistent fragging. It's quite interesting, actually, because when Exist took that brief time off, when he sort of passed the mantle to get right, one of the good things to come out of that era was Exist's fragging really seemed to step up, and he started delivering. And he seems to have continued, even though he's back calling. And Freiburg, of course, who's needed to put in a big performance for a while now. Again, started getting back to being able to make regular entry frags at DreamHack Summer, but now he's actually posting decent numbers as well. So they'll be disappointed, I think, NiP there, that actually Alu, Mr. Reliable, is the factor that's ultimately not made that map competitive, not made them be able to close this series out. So I don't think you'll see the same Alu that you saw there on Inferno. He's a bit more comfortable on that map. Usually very accomplished on it. So that's going to be the interesting factor there. Nico, who's been really poor, doesn't look like he's had his Weetabix, you know what I mean? He hasn't warmed up yet, right? And then you've got Alu, who's just come off the back of a bad game, and he's going to be thinking, right, you know, game
so that's
time.
what I was going to ask you. You kind of basically said it. So keys to victory for both teams are basically those two guys stepping up.
Yeah, the two opposite at the moment. Especially because the fact that they're having no impact is really costing their team. It's not even just that they're not getting a decent amount. They don't have to go off, basically. They just have to contribute at the moment. The problem with this series so far is it hasn't really been much of a thriller, actually. Game 1, it really just Dignitas didn't show up. NiP was just solid the whole way through. Game 2, Dignitas was pretty good, but NiP was non-existent. So at the moment, I haven't seen both teams playing well at the same time. I haven't seen a really hyped match, you know. Because on this Mirage game, which again, this could have been a huge stomp. I mean, think of some of the rounds NiP won, and it was like 1v2s and stuff. So they could have lost even more rounds, adding in all the factors. So I hope the map 3, both teams have got it going. It's more of an even map for the two. I hope it's going to be really thrilling.
And got to give mad props to Pimp. You just got to say on Mirage he was brilliant. I thought again, that's what he does. You know, he's so smart and intelligent in how he uses the terrain, and that's why he's one of the consistent players. He knows where people are going to push from. He holds the right angles, and if he needs to just shift a little bit out the way just to buy his team vital seconds, he does that as well. And I thought that was a real masterful performance from him on Mirage. I thought he was really, really good. And came up clutch in a number of rounds, made some great frags. So yeah, Pimp can feel very pleased with his day's work. In a lot of ways, no pun intended, yeah, he carried the weight that you know was there with Nico's absence.
Yes.
You know, it was.
And just to add on that note, he didn't do crazy good, but Kirby got over the problems he had in that first DreamHack Summer game, which we rightfully kind of like.
I thought history was going to repeat itself on Cash for a minute, though. Like, Kirby needs to be banned from buying a FAMAS because some of the holds he did on A. I know it's hard when Tech 9s are coming at you because the gun still remains ridiculously overpowered, ridiculously imbalanced. It still is a factor in deciding rounds that ultimately shouldn't be decided on that. But, you know, his FAMAS play was really poor, and I thought he's going to have another bad day at the office against NiP. But you're right, he did put the demons, he exercised them a little bit on Mirage, so good for him. And again, you know, the only person who really looked poor for Dignitas on Mirage there was Nico, really.
And let's just kind of shift gears briefly. On the other stream, Titan took on SK.
Yeah.
Titan has 2-0'd them. They came out victorious. Map scores overpass 16-5, and Cash closer 16-13, but still 2-0 by Titan.
Well, I think what we can glean about that is now Titan are starting to fancy themselves as a bit of an overpass team. And this is quite interesting because they famously wouldn't touch that map at all. And what happened at DreamHack Summer was against Na'Vi, who were known for being very good on overpass. They played him in a semi-final. They got this like 8-0 lead against them. Everyone's like, oh wow, Existence has done it again. He's sat down with the demos. He's come up with the strats. This is going to be really awesome moving forward. And then of course they've had some disappointing. They went on to lose that. I think they lost again on Overpass yesterday. Is that right? And then here they are today, managing to.
They did.
Yeah, to
16-7.
Yeah, 16-7. So they're obviously starting to fancy themselves Overpass. They've obviously put some work into this map. Now SK Gaming beating them. I don't know how much of a feather of in your cap that is at the moment, because they're an unknown quantity. Yeah, they had a close series against NiP. Was that NiP playing bad? Was that SK playing good? Is that a matchup thing stylistically? So SK Gaming go home right about the stage we expected, but still lots of question marks about Titan. I'm not getting too excited about that result.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is if anything, I think SK had a little bit of an overperformance against NiP yesterday and still didn't get away with the win. They still didn't make the upset happen and snatch it. So the fact that today it's leveled off, they're playing Titan, who isn't in sick form at the moment. If anything, Titan's in probably the worst slump of maybe the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So it's quite unconvincing to not win a map there. Basically, they won 1 map overall out of 5. So yeah, it looked good early on. They might have won map 1 against NiP, but they ended the tournament in what was expected. If anything, they got closer on some of these maps, but overall, they haven't really. You never really did anything. You won 1 map. That's it.
Okay. Any change to your predictions? Obviously, it's too late for you, right? You said 2-0, but are you still feeling comfortable?
I still feel NiP are going to take Inferno. It's going to be like a 16-10, something like that, I think.
And even though you said 2-0 for NiP, do you still think it's going to be a 2-1
I think
then
it's
for
still
NiP?
NiP's going to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Players are ready. Our cashes are ready. Again, this is the final match map for this matchup. Winner goes into the semifinals, books a trip. Loser's going to drop down and play Titan. So bringing you this final map, Henry G, DDK. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's going to be going to an Inferno. So, all right, Henry, what do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen?
Well, it depends. CT side, NiP will kind of rely on Alu to hit. Like, he's almost legendary at the arch side. He kind of hits every shot that comes up to him. He's very reliable. If he's in the current form he's in, not hitting those shots, and he's getting forced back to the bomb side area or the library area, that could be really important. Like, it's what NiP rely on quite heavily for him to hit his shots and kind of allow them to keep the mid control at the start of the rounds. Especially on T side as well. Like, NiP are one of those teams that kind of, they don't really do many executes. They kind of just rely on their stronger players. So you'll see Forrest a lot just walking up mid and challenging the arch area, and same with Freiberg. He'll just go up and get a lot of control, and I feel like that the predictions the analyst gave us, like a 16-10 in favor of NiP, is realistic. But the way like the games have gone so far, like the first game Dignitas didn't really arrive, and then the second game NiP didn't really arrive. Like it's really tough to call. Like both teams showing us some bad form on either map. But how do you feel this one's going to go?
Well, it's a difficult one. Like you say, there's probably going to be some weakness. Unless Ali just makes a recovery, we can presume, okay, maybe there's going to be a little bit of weakness there on towards middle. But something that NiP are good at doing is abusing their skill. If they're playing a team that, for example, it's not Fnatic, it's not envious, it's a team where like, okay, we can out-skill you individually, we'll probably end up seeing them take a lot of liberty on Banana, try to push Banana a lot, because especially against teams that have less individual skill than them, they can kind of like crush them, and then they just get rolling to this degree that anything they do from that point, once they start getting those rounds, just works. So
I think that's going to be so important for Dignitas, especially on their CT side. They need to show a lot of aggression and locking out that banana area, because that's where you'll see Freiberg's running up the banana area and just getting that initial control and allowing him to face. He like waits for the smokes to go down, and he knows he can kind of walk in and out aim most people on that site. So I think Dignitas really need to focus their attention towards the banana area. I think sending 3 players there to start is probably going to be quite important for them, just getting that initial control and kind of forcing them back. But the pistol rounds have been quite interesting so far. We've seen NiP actually just go for really simple stuff. Like that actually is the current meta. You see a lot of teams just kind of armoring up, perhaps giving one player a Tech 9 and just kind of bossing into a site together. We saw the NiP try to do that on Cash. Didn't really work out for them, got completely locked down. But that Inferno is a perfect map to do this. The CTs have to spread out very thinly. If you can just kind of choose an area to go with 5 pieces of armor, that's what I assume we're going to see here. And I think the sides as well is going to be very important. Whoever can get the CT side first, especially the current form both teams are in, I think it's going to be a big advantage to them.
Yeah, I think it's really important for NiP, especially Valley not hitting shots with the AWP. But that said as well, generally speaking, I would probably presume that with NiP on the T side, if they start there, that Ali's going to be on the AK most of the time anyway. Because it depends how Dignitas play. Again, you can get a lot of edges against a team that play a CT side that's kind of aggressive, where they kind of will be peaking. But there are some teams, like depending, for example, if you watch Envious, depending on who they're playing against, they're not going to let you get a peak with your AWP into their CT setup. There's a lot of ways that they'll play that. Again, it depends on a team what team it is and who that team is playing as to what they think they can get away with. But I feel like this actually could actually work for Ali to get back into it a little bit slowly, get his confidence up, because I think it's brought up there on the CT side of Mirage. He wasn't able, like, he kept picking up the orb and he just kept consistently not being able to do anything with it.
He was hitting a couple of shots in middle, like the ones like you'd expect him to hit, but it's just the retakes, the rounds when it was down to a clutch situation, and then his like influence on the round was really, really high. Like the shots you normally see him hit, he just wasn't doing it. And like we saw some glimmers of that on Cobble yesterday as well. It wasn't until the overtime he actually really stepped up and we saw him get the ace and the 4-man there. But he's such an important player for NiP. They rely on him to open up the rounds, and if he's not doing it, especially on the retakes, if he's not like showing any sort of presence, they'll get a struggle to get into it. But there we go. That's something that's enough chatter from us about what's happened so far. Let's get into this one. The knife round is about to begin, and like we said before, like the knife round always very important, but in this case where both teams aren't showing great form, you'd hope that the CT side can be very important for them.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. NiP, of course, they are always very sturdy on their CT side. It's usually the rock, and especially with a map like this.
Slashing away there, and it's going to be Exist, the last man left, and just trying to work out who's going to be the best target here. NiKo is very low, and this one going to go down. Yeah, I just can't stress enough how important this is. Like, whoever can get CT first and get the momentum built up, it's going to be a great morale booster for them, considering they've both had bad maps.
Just trying to troll a little bit here. He knows he's super low, but NiKo's going to actually allow Dignitas to start on the CT side, so that's really nice there for Dignitas. And I'm really curious how this is going to go. How is NiP's T side going to fare? I mean, are they just going to play it slow? Are they going to try to barrel down Dignitas? Dignitas going to play super passive, because that might happen as well. So
that's what they really need to do. Like, we know how NiP play. They rely on getting the picks. Like, they'll send Forrest walking up middle looking for a headshot. As long as Dignitas don't give it to him and allow him to kind of enter the round, that's where they'll succeed in this situation. And especially as well, we see NiP go towards Banana a lot, and they'll keep Get Right in the apartments, kind of doing the lurk role. And people who have done their homework on these teams, like they should know that's coming, so they shouldn't fall for that too much. Like, I think Dignitas, after losing to these guys last time, would have done a lot of research into how they play each map, and this could be really interesting. I think this map is a good balance of both of the last ones. Both teams strong on it. NiP, I'd say, do have the slight edge, but now they're starting to see the terrorist side. Is going to be very interesting to see how this one pans out.
Yeah, we have already just a bit of a spread from NiP, moving a few players towards second, mid, and apartments as the bomber is resting by the bottom of Banana. No one really spotting anything just yet from the CT side. AZ is quite far down though by the logs, and they're going to go for an aggressive smoke off. I kind of like this actually, but if NiP, because it's the piss round, decided to just barrel up as 5 players and just barge through that smoke, that would be really strong. And they're going to go up and take middle away. But again, minute left, they can do anything they want at the moment. Now they just have to play the trades. That's the only requirement here, is the tease. And we'll get another smoke here used by this time by NiP. friberg with a couple flashes as well, and they're going to just slowly work their way into the map. So this is really nice here. They are actually getting really close, and NiKo comes straight through the library, takes down 2 quick frags. Massive stuff there from NiKo. Now, can they get anything else here? Oh, GetRight's going to go down to Kirby, and it's just Forrest who's left. It's almost a flawless round here, and there it is. It will be a completely perfect round from Dignitas. I loved what NiP were doing,
but it didn't work. It was almost perfect. The fact they got that mid control and actually managed to smoke off a key player at Arch there, got themselves into library, but NiKo just seemed to explode all over them. Like, managed to get some really nice reactive kills there, and that was great stuff from Dignitas, and that's going to be a very, very important round for them. And it's going to force NiP onto the force buy. They've got the CZs, the Tech 9s, the P250s, and head armor and hands, so they have got a smoke as well. Wouldn't be surprised they go towards the banana area, just smoking off spawn and kind of getting it together. We know they favour that site quite a lot, and you can see here, just getting into control. AZ here is far too aware of what's going on. He wants to flash him back once he spots that first man and get in a good position, just kind of hold them off. He's got the MP9 in hand, looking for the big spray down. Here we go. This is the execute from NiP.
Yeah, trying to make it happen here, but MSL is spraying down upon them with the FAMAS. They get both frags, though, again, thanks to friberg. He will pick up the MP9 as well, but can they get anything extra out of this? Already 2 frags and a bomb down. That is very nice in a round like this. Oh, what a kill there from NiKo, executing friberg with the Banana 5-7. The irony is real right there as we have GetRight spraying down NiKo, going for the trade, but Pimp is on top of him, and that's going to be the defuse there. But good damage done overall by by NiP in this round.
Yeah, it looked like Dig actually had full control there, but 2 explosive kills from Freiburg, managing to pick up 2 PT50 frags, getting the bomb down as well. So a good round for him, and will ensure they'll be able to get the AKs out next round, or at least I hope that's what they do. I wouldn't like to see another force buy here. But Dignitas onto a strong start here. They should just get the rifles in, prepare for next round. They know it's going to be a quiet one from NiP, and it'll be interesting to see what NiP actually do here. They've got 1 smoke again, and they'll probably be looking to smoke of one side of middle, go up together perhaps, and see what they can do. Just getting a couple of frags here would be fine for them.
All right, well, interesting that after doing that damage, they didn't decide to just force it up and see what they can get done.
I think this is a sensible decision. They're having the full buy next round, kind of trying to cause any sort of damage they can this time. It's fine. Like, they don't need to force it out and get themselves in a real deficit in terms of the economy.
That's good. We often see the more classic plays from NiP, and we're going to have now that push coming in towards middle as they go for it, and it's only Freiburg to make a frag so far. As we have Dignitas with a good response now. Getro's going to chime in, and once again, Nico pulling out that 5-7 as the bomb is trying to be planted by Freiburg, and an angle cannot be found by Nico. He actually overextends to try and find it, and that'll be the death of him. So again, excellent damage done here, and Getro can even win the round against MSL as he waits for him to come in. Oh, he goes for the spray down, gets the headshot. Get right, it's going to make the round work here for NiP, and they are going to steal it away with that half buy. And now it's problems here for Dignitas.
Yeah, that's going to put them in a really tricky situation here. That's going to force them potentially onto an eco as well. Yeah, you can see what they're trying to work out, how they're going to approach this round. That was one they really needed to win, like especially when they knew NiP were coming in with the AKs next round, and they managed to drop that one. Great clutch play from Get right there in the pit, controlling that, even with low HP. Managed to pick up 2 great kills. As soon as he got the M4 there, that was all bets were off, and managed to get the frags. And here we go. All they need to do now is play a standard anti-eco round. Make sure they go frag with frag. They're so good against this banana control. They just need to make sure the execute is good, and there we go. That's what I was talking about. Forrest just loves this freedom of walking up middle. He knows he's got the aim to take down anyone up there, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do with this.
Yeah, they're going to challenge, but Ali's got Forrest back right there with the AK, and they are going to carve their way up, or themselves a path up towards the A bomb site. Looking pretty good here for NiP. They've not really sustained any damage just yet, and well, Dignitas getting crushed pretty quickly, to be honest. And this is a really bad sign, because that CT economy is so important to really cultivate and grow at the start of a match. And they got that pistol round flawlessly, and NiP, they just brought it back incredibly quickly.
Yeah, these teams have been so back and forth this entire series. Like we saw Dignitas going over 5-0 up, and then NiP coming back with 5 rounds of their own. We've just seen that again on Inferno. Like no one can really seem to dig their heels in for very long before the other team kind of reacts and gets back into it. And now NiP definitely in the driving scene now. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a very fast strat from them coming out next round. Kind of something to kind of put a message out there that they know they've got control, and kind of just lock it down before Dignitas try and react, potentially bringing out an AWP this round.
Yeah, and well, what solutions are we going to see from Dignitas? I mean, NiP, they're in a spot where they can take a lot of risks as well. They can kind of do whatever they want right now to just test the waters. And Dignitas going to go for a full save pretty much, not like this, just respecting their own economy and not forcing themselves into like really weird buys.
Shotgun coming out from Pimp there, and he's going to have to make that work. He's potentially going to be in the apartments, I'd imagine. Actually controlling middle there, just hoping that he knows Forrest has to walk up and go for the frags, and MSL picking up a huge Deagle one, but we've seen that gun do so much work recently in CSGO.
Yeah, lots of teams started to pick it up actually. Envious they actually go for full they actually deco sometimes, which is like
it's coming back.
Yeah, the good old deco. Well, it's going to be 4 players there for NiP. They can't really afford to lose anybody else here. They've got to be careful, otherwise things could get out of hand. And there's 3 players towards B here for Dignitas, so they really would love NiP to stroll up banana and go for that B hit. But what are we going to see here? NiP want to just poke in at least a player to see if they can get either a pick or some information. But that always is going to carry some level of risk. And if somebody gets found with a deagle, that's going to really suck for NiP. Just holding steady still. Of course, Dignitas don't need to move. They've got good positions, to be honest. 2 players in pit, 3 on the B bomb site. Really nice setup for them with that man advantage. And here comes the execute. Dignitas can absolutely make something of this as NiP crawl through those choke points into that B push. And now it's going to be Freiburg leading the charge, looking for the entry. Spots the first player, gets shot in the back there by Pimp, and it's going to be 3 players dead for Dignitas, all 3 on the B-bomb site. So a nice response there from NiP. They will mitigate any damage, get the bomb down, And it should be game over here in this round for Dignitas.
Yeah, classic NiP play there. Sending in Freiburg first. Didn't manage to pick up any frags, but his team SOR to recover the round. Pim managed to get a shotgun kill there. That could have been the turning point, but this should be a pretty simple hold now from NiP. NiKo, the last man remaining. And this is where the game really begins now. This is where Dignitas need to find some form, get some momentum up, get some CT rounds posted, because right now they're in the deficit. They're losing the Inferno map on the CT side, and now this is the reaction. Pimp has got the AWP out, so a change of play. He's got the spawn. This is spawn-based play. He'll either go for the apps push or just go straight down to look at T steps to see what he can do. I'd imagine he'll go down to apps just because that's the best place to do it. You kind of won't get locked down so quickly there. But as I say that, he does face middle and gets forced back to the bomb site.
So Gary wanted to get himself up mid fast for a quick pick, but he's not going to find anything. Going to get smoked. Molotov back. And Dignitas going for the aggressive banana take here. We've got MSL who's deep there, and he's... As soon as that smoke starts to fade, he can get a teammate to smoke it, and they can fall back. Then help A as 4 players, and that's the usual setup here. But will they actually get the 4th player there in time? Because NiP, they're turning up the pace right now. They're going straight into the A bomb site. Quick kill there on the entry from Exist. Forest gets down Pimp as well on the bomb site itself, and NiKo stuck behind smoke. This looks so hopeless for Dignitas right now. We've got a good post-plant setup, and Alu's even going to get a kill through the smoke in the back of NiKo's head with that AK. What a disaster here for Dignitas.
Yeah, as soon as they went for that middle pick and nothing came of it, the CT team pushed down Banana, and they knew that NiP just knew they've lost full control of the map. Went straight up middle together, one smoke on the arch side, went into quad. Like we said before, they rely on their skill and their takes as a team, and that's exactly what they did. Big frags being made, and now MSL and AZ are going to have to save these guns if they want to have any chance of this becoming a nightmare for them, as NiP will gain another round and making it 4-2 in their favour.
The cool thing as well is that they kind of figured out that they need to go for a fast play there. Oh, almost getting both players you were trying to save. But I think maybe hearing the 3rd smoke pop on Banana really told them everything they need to know, because they know that there's like an extra guy on Banana and that he's likely going to rotate back into A, so now's the time. And they found that window. That's the problem when you push down as a CT. When you get that deep and they know they can kind of sense you're almost at the bottom. If they get up together as a 5, you know it's going to be a 5-on-3 situation. It's going to come down to who hits their shots. And we saw Pimp actually swap over the orb with NiKo there, so obviously a little bit of confusion. And they actually got locked down there. And it's going to be quite a fast round from NiP here. Taking the full Banana control. Another fast round for them. And it's all going to be down to MSL. Will he be able to make anything of it? And he won't. And that's both guns now gone for Dignitas. And it's going to be a complete takeover for NiP as they control the Banana bomb site now. Yeah, MSL got an opportunity to connect 3 shots. So MSL actually put himself in the perfect spot in a round like this to do all the damage with the orb. But he missed all 3, and that's not gonna happen now for Dignitas. But I think he made the perfect decision. He just didn't hit the shots.
Yeah. We actually saw NiP throwing the AWP on the roof there. Like we said before, they'll probably keep Alu on an AK for this T side, and that's exactly what they're doing. They don't want to mix it up. What they're doing right now is working, staying as a fragging unit, and making sure they're going frag for frag with quite simple plays. It's worked perfectly for them so far. They're literally just out-aiming on their executes at the moment. Pimp's going to be left in a 5-on-1 situation, hoping he gets some sort of exit frag here, but nothing's going to come of it. And that's going to be the 5th round now for NiP, and they're in a very, very strong position. Look at the money on Alu. Like, he's got so much in the bank, 14k there for him. They're going to be set up for most of the half now, and Dignitas really needs to get back into this one. You can see they have managed to scrape together a buy. NiKo is going to get the AWP out again. We saw Pimp try it last time. Perhaps NiKo will be able to make more of it.
Yeah, it's looking like a really good spot here for NiP so far. Now NiKo looking for that potential peek on middle, scanning to search for somebody, and he's going to find some NiP players soon. Here, there's the first one. Forest goes down, but good trade made by Ali, which is exactly what you're talking about. Always keeping the trades alive, and that's turned into map control right now because they have taken mid. They've taken it fast as well, and it's going to be Pimp who will respond by library side, picks up the kill onto Alu. But NiP, they're putting the pressure on right now, just marching straight into the A bomb site. Kirby with excellent defensive kills there, 2 in a row. And it's going to be AZ and MSL now moving in against Exist. He's going to try to bait out one. He wants that quick one-on-one. He's going to get it as well. Oh, he can't get the spray down. That could have made the difference. But it's going to be MSL saving the day for Dignitas. They finally pick up a round, but there's so much money, so much bank on NiP.
So that all came down to Kaibi then in the pick, kind of picking up 2 very big frags. I feel like Dignitas, almost all they need to do is just lock out NiP. They know they're going to face up middle and look for those frags. Instead of utilizing all their smokes for the banana area, I think they should just smoke off middle and then allow the T's to have it eventually after the times run down, but just fall back to the pit areas, set up the crossfires, and I think they have a much better chance of out-aiming NiP in 2-on-1 situations instead of actually forcing it out to a 1-on-1, which we've seen them lose there. Nico did pick up a big AWP frag there, but I'd rather them just use a full rifle setup and kind of just hold NiP off for as long as possible and force them to execute onto a bomb site.
So we have a spot here again where we see the deep banana play from Dignitas, and again where NiP are set up for a really fast snap onto the A bomb site. Now is it going to go the same way this time? Instead of going through quad, they're going through apartments, and it's actually going to result in a couple entries here, but can they actually turn it into a bomb plant? Looks like they will, as they completely clean up the A side of the map, and it's going to be that bomb down situation. Gerris in the apartments, and Alu is just going to stay on the bomb site. Slow them down, finds the first player, but that's a 2-on-1 there, as Getright is basically playing alone against AZ and MSL, but the plant is good. And he's going to spot the first player. Nice headshot onto MSL. 1-on-1 now. AZ is going to try to find the frag straight away as he moves in. Now Getright's got to get the instant headshot. Oh, he can't do it though. AZ will pick up the kill. Does he have time though? Yes, he does have time. AZ, sorry.
That was a really smart play from Getright there. The fact had he had more HP, he would have probably won that one. It was a really good chance for him. I think Dignitas again, the fact they're pushing down banana every single round, it's also allowing NiP to get up to A every single time. I think they need to stop doing that. Just have that control at the top. Perhaps if they are going to AWP, have the AWP of banana just locking down that site by himself and kind of allowing them to have 4 players over at the big site. But so far this has been a very one-sided affair for NiP. They narrowly lose out on that round due to a clutch situation, but Dignitas really need to find some momentum now and get some rounds on the board together, otherwise they're going to get shut down as soon as they lose a round here.
Ali's on the AWP now though, and Pimp is actually pushed in the apartments. This could be a very important one-on-one here between Pimp and Getright. Now he's actually going to back away, which I think is quite smart. You don't want to risk losing a man on Inferno for CT side right at the start of the round. MSL in fact will pick up Exist, so good play there from Dignitas, but again, I'm still wondering how is Ali going to come into play with this AWP. He's looking for that boiler peak. Now here he is. Looking for a player, won't spot anybody. Of course, we can see that Dignitas are a little bit further back than that, and Ali's going to look and see if he can actually remove one of them from the map. Send somebody to the bench. Not going to happen there with that shot, but he will spot one in pit. And that's some key information there from Alu. But will they realize that the other players are on balcony? We've got 4 players from Dignitas all around the A bomb site at the moment, ready to fend off NiP, and they're starting to run low on time. They've got 35 seconds left in the round, and here come the grenades. The push is surely soon to follow, but the counter grenades from Dignitas are slowing them down, and they are getting the kills as well. Great stuff there from Pimp. Gets the double. Kirby chiming in through a third, and it's now a very lost round here, unless Freiburg can do the unthinkable.
That was much better from Dignitas, like we said before, running the clock down, forcing NiP to focus on a bomb site, using the crossfires to their advantage, and ultimately that's how you should play CT, making sure you're working together and taking focus off different wavelengths, and that's going to be able to pick up a nice easy frag on the Freiburg there. And this is the point where Dignitas want to win the rest of the rounds. They can keep this mentality up, even if they get the opening frag, just falling back and allowing themselves to kind of regroup and ensure that the NiP can't have those easy one-on-one situations, and I think they should be able to convert the rest of these rounds into victories.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a situation where Dignitas can get themselves back into the match, and if they had lost that last round, they're actually on a double eco.
Absolutely. You saw they didn't even have head armor last round, and they got the same thing here. And obviously, it's not so important against the AKs. Like just saving your money and opting for grenades is obviously a smart decision on this sort of map. But this could be a very important map now for NiP. They're kind of changing their mentality a little bit. Not so fast. They're getting the first pick against them again, but it's going to be a reaction here.
Alright, well, we are going to have a slow push up banana from NiP as AZ wants to get himself to be pop flashed over, or he might even flash himself over there. There it is. Himself throws the flash over, but he's going to run through the fire. Oh, the timing is not quite right there for AZ, as he will sustain a lot of damage there, but Dignitas, they're still okay right now. In comes Exist though. He might change that. He's going to look for the first player. He gets the entry onto AZ. MSL, though, he delivers a defensive kill, but that's all he's going to get. And now, Nico, he is smoked off. Can he stop the bomb from going down here? He's actually covered behind coils. Then NiP have Exist in a sneaky position as well. They're well set up to actually take this round, but can Dignitas find themselves some quick kills? Pimp will find Exist in that sneaky position, and now it's on Alu here, who is the last one standing. All of his comrades have fallen. 2 players are sorting. Oh, what a shot there from Alu. Gets the headshot immediately, and that is how you do it. Alu's going to clutch, and that is, of course, going to really lift his spirits. A redeeming performance in that round, in that clutch for Alu.
Yeah, that was just a classic NiP round. They do it so well of getting that banana control. They do the double Molotov setup when they go one on the corner, one towards the sandbags out of the top. And once they get in that position there, it doesn't really matter that Dignitas know they're coming in. They've got such good entry fraggers. You saw Exist going in and getting that nice crouch spray behind the fountain and allowed them to get into the clutch position. That's all they need, is they can get into a clutch position where they know they've got the players to kind of win those rounds. That's exactly perfect for them. And Alu converting that amazingly and showing some form after last map.
Yeah, that was really nice by Alu. Now the problem here is that Dignitas don't have money. That's such an issue when they lost like a round and boom, eco straight away. That is not good. And we've got the cleanup coming in from NiP against the pistol save of Dignitas. And how much damage can Dignitas actually get out here against NiP? So far, it is nothing. Just Nico is left alive, and Nico is certainly in pretty dark place, but somehow he finds 2 headshots. I don't even know what the hell just happened there from Nico. It's that P250 single-handedly stopping them on Banana. Are they going to challenge him? I mean, they can just go and plant the bomb and just be safe at this point, but they don't want him to pick up that AK, and Forrest is going to find this shot onto Nico. So he's going to finish him off, only 2 frags, and that's not going to worry NiP too much. Dignitas kind of forced to buy here with a couple players less than $4,000.
Yeah, this is getting really dangerous now with NiP with 7 rounds in the hand. Like anything now is a bonus, and it's going to take something really special for Dig to get back into this one. You can see it's another forced buy from them. They have got a Famous out anesthesia on AZ, and if they lose this one, this could be it. That could be all she wrote for this one, because NiP are just looking too strong right now.
Absolutely. So smoke down up mid there, but it's going to be a little bit too late as Exist's timing is too fast, too strong for Nico. In comes Pimp to get some trades. He's going to come up short, and now Kirby is there by the blue truck, but he gets overwhelmed as well. NiP marching through to the A bomb site with deadly force, as it's just MSL and AZ on the rotate to try to save this one, and their odds, their chances, their hopes, dreams and desires are all going to fall flat on their face as AZ has to back away now.
Really simple play from NiP here. They don't really have to work too hard to get the frags. They're kind of just working up together, and like we said before, as long as they keep that frag for frag mentality, as soon as a comrade goes down, they're there picking it up, and that's exactly what they did. And they're just getting, Dignitas are getting outplayed here and is outclassed, unfortunately. Like, they're just not hitting the shots that matter. And that's another big round for NiP, and that's going to put Dignitas in a horrible situation in terms of economy.
Yeah, it's just really getting out of hand, to be honest. It started off pretty well, but now it's getting to be too tall of an order. And it's going to take a very, very sick situation from Dignitas to save this one. Yeah, we have a really nice stuff coming out from NiP in this 3rd map. And Inferno is a place where they always find some comfort.
It's just like they're just so open with their fragging. They just go around together. Like a lot of teams have a really tactical approach, and they'll smoke off truck side, and they'll smoke off and Molotov all the key areas. NiP don't need to do that. They just got the players to get the entry frags, and they can play off their team play. And it's so good to watch. It's real classic CS coming in. And like we see, Alu's actually picked up some real good form with the AK this half, and it's looking really desperate for Dignitas now. They've got 5 7s and 1 M4 in hand. They have force bought this with armor, and if they lose this one, that really is it. They've stacked 4 players towards middle there. Really clutching at straws here, what they can do to get back into this.
Yeah, it's actually smart from NiP to actually not challenge too heavily on middle, because middle's one of those angles where you're really susceptible to getting, having to look left, having to look right, look left, look right, as the CTs could peek. And if they get that perfect peeking timing between both angles, you can get shut down. So it's kind of nice that they're taking it really easy towards middle at the moment, and kind of trying to force Dignitas to peek out later into the round whilst they wonder, where is NiP actually going? Now, will they make that mistake? It's a very easy mistake to make, and that would give NiP a good opportunity here to just clean up the round. And we've got 35 seconds left, and it looks like Forrest is going to be tossing in the truck smoke there from second mid. So that's going to really start to pull players back from the B side towards A, as they kind of like try to delay the rotation here. As they're going to, I would imagine they're going for the B execute here now.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you can see one player there for NiP, going to cause some chaos here, and it's going to be get right, taking down the rotators. Classic play from him, and they should be, like, if the time is running out, they need to go on the bombs at ASAP. If they lose a frag, it could be very detrimental to them. As I said, that's exactly what happens, and that could be the most important kill of the round.
And they've left it too late with Team 80 with perfect positioning on the spray. Oh, the bomb barely goes down, but still, it's a 2-on-2 here. Absolutely doable. 80 still at the back of the bomb site all the time in the world at the moment, and a kit on him. So, not looking too shabby right now for Dignitas. They have indeed created a remarkable situation for themselves. But in comes Get Right. Lurking from the back again, and Freiburg goes down towards Banana. Get Right falls as well, and Dignitas, they do the unthinkable. They pull out a round out of nowhere.
Yeah, huge frag there as the bomb was going down. That was the problem with leaving it so late into the round. They were forced to plant in smoke, had low HP, got taken down, and that was a very big morale boost to Dignitas there, managing to convert the 4, 5, 7s into a victory. And if they can pick up this last one now and get the pistol on the T half, they may be okay. So that was a very, very big round indeed. You can see their economy is looking a lot healthier now. Got the AWP out as well, managed to pick up some of the AKs from NiP's last round, but NiP with a full buy here, full utility. It'll be interesting to see what kind of approach they go for, whether they stick with the classic, stick together and frag, or they'll go for a full tactical execution there now.
Oh, they're going fast up Banana. That's a quick entry again from NiP, and they're so good at making these situations happen. Just going to run straight into B, picking up an instant kill onto MSL. Usually, that's going to really just completely cripple the round for you as a CT, and indeed, Freiburg's going to take down Nico, who he needed to get a fast frag at fast control of construction. He had to go for it, but Freiburg delivered. The third kill for Freiburg in this round, just entering like a beast. And he gets number 4 as well. Freiburg working on that ace, but it's going to be Exist to finish off the last player. And that's going to be a 9-6 first half. NiP will be very happy with that one.
Yeah, they didn't ever look like they were any sort of trouble there. This really classic play from them. They weren't really tested that much. Everywhere they seemed to win, it was like they had contention on all the areas. It came down to a very close situation with the rounds they lost. So yeah, they looked really comfortable on this map, and I wouldn't be surprised if they took this pistol round as well. Dignitas really going to have to just group up together and hope they can find an area of the map that NiP aren't at. And it'll be interesting to see what approach they've got. They've got one player, MSL, who's got the smoke and 2 flashbangs. Everyone else is going to be on armor. So that suggests they might go to somewhere towards Banana, like smoke off CT spawn, just piling together. But let's just see how this one pans out. 3 players for NiP actually on the B-bomb side.
Yeah, this could work out quite well, as I think Dignitas were posturing as if they wanted to take Banana control. But neither team with any information just yet, and it's too dangerous as a CT at this point of the round to actually peek mid, because the close range from the Glock and the trade, the efficiency on the trade situations for the T's are just so strong. You want to stay at ranges. And we can see Exist doing just that, as well as Forest just going back towards the pit. And Dignitas looking for NiP to make a peek, as they're thinking that eventually they should get starved for information, that they're going to go for that desperation play just to see what's actually going on. But NiP, they're holding firm at the moment.
Yeah, holding their ground. We can see the smoke there still in hand from MSL. They're waiting for the CTs to show any sort of presence on the map, and this will be the execution now. We're going to see that smoke sort of come into play. Where's that going to land for them?
Here we go, Exist looking for the fast headshot. He's not going to find anything just yet, but he will call the push. However, there's no one's budging an inch here for NiP on the B bomb site at the moment, and now they're going to start rotating. Now they're absolutely sure that it's not a fake, but that's actually going to be now a 4 versus 5 retake situation for NiP. Dignitas, oh, they're looking strong at the moment. Nice frag there from Kirby as he goes round for another one, and he's going to get just that. Freiburg goes down in the arch, and it's going to be Get Right coming up with Alu, but now Get Right's all alone. There's one player taken down. Oh, good control there from Get Right, but it's not going to happen this time, and Dignitas will win the pistol. Again, they've been quite good on the pistols, actually.
Yeah, that was a really nice play for them. They waited for all the CTs to use everything they had. The smoke in middle was chucked down. They were using some flashes. They waited for the opportunity, and the CTs had to fall back, if they would have just lost that situation. Decent smoke going down in front of Library, and kind of just managed to get themselves onto the bomb site, leaving NiP in a really difficult retake situation. And now we can see Dignitas finally have some control of the heart. They've won the first pistol round, and they really, really need to convert this into a victory this round. You can see again, they go for their classic kind of SMG setup, where they have 2 rifles holding the back, and the SMGs can go in for some control and see where the CTs are playing from. I'd like them to wait a little bit longer for this round to begin, just because we can see there that Get Right has got the shotgun in hand. He can be really, really dangerous there, and a little boost coming in for NiP as well. So Dignitas, all they need to do is just kind of just feel out the map, see what the CTs are up to, and then execute from there.
Yeah, we got that B push coming in slowly but surely, and NiP with actually a bunch of bodies towards this bomb site. This could get pretty scary for the Danes. Get Right's close with the Mag 7 as well. In they come. There's the first shot. Won't connect their head. And it's going to be now NiP struggling to hold on to this bomb site. Great entries found by the Danes as they stroll on through. And it's looking pretty strong. But in comes Ali with a quick shot or two with that Deagle to take down one player. But that is going to be it for NiP here. Forrest is... he's got a CZ, but no armor ready to use. And... well, Well, I think he'd be kind of lucky here to actually get an opportunity even for an exit.
Yeah, well, that could have gone either way. Like, if Get Right had found some form of the Mag 7 then, it could have been really important. They had men stacked there. They had a person up on the bomb side as well. It all came down to Get Right hitting a frag there. Unfortunately, the unreliable form of the Mag 7 meant he wasn't able to get one. And that's going to be a second round on the board for Dignitas as they get back into this one. It's going to be a full eco now from NiP, unless they decide to do something very silly and force this one, which I really don't see happening. And it's going to be quite an easy clinical round now for Dignitas.
I'm really happy to see them not forcing anything, because we've seen that a lot recently. And on CT side, it rarely works too well. But you know, well, anyway, we're gonna have NiP now with OK money. They didn't go for the full force in the last one, not all of them at least. And they go for those mid challenges as well. And it's pretty good hit for Dignitas once again. And get 4 kills really quickly, just Freiburg by Banana. And it's all gonna be about that first buy round for NiP. I don't know if Alu actually has enough money for an op just yet. We can if we can just see the money real quick on the scoreboard. And so Alu, is he going to have enough here? It's going to be the 3rd round loss, so that is going to be $2,400. So yeah, he should be able to just about afford one.
A difficult one, but he can do it. I don't see him doing it, to be honest. I'd rather they're just going to get the 5 rifles, which they've been running on the T side as well. And that's all they need to do, absolutely. Like, there's no need. You can see him kind of contemplating it now, and there it is. The rifle is out. And it wouldn't surprise me if they went for some banana control, what Dignitas were going for so much. But this needs to be a nice control round for NiP, just to kind of confirm their status on the favoured side.
Yeah, those nades are so important on this map. They're incredibly crucial. We'll have NiP playing it pretty standard at the moment. But the problem is, again, you know, they don't have a huge bank of grenades to work with. There is a deep smoke, but they can't capitalize. AZ's going to push through and actually just drop Get Right straight away. Now Freiburg's going to smoke it off. He's got reinforcements there in the form of Forest, which will be helpful. But this is such a cool situation for Dignitas. They've got the early frag, and they know that it's very likely NiP will split to a site.
Yep. Really good play from that. I feel like NiP didn't really have to do that. Like, they know they had a pretty forced buy with the Famas there, and Get Right facing the 2 AKs in an unfavored position. Pretty sloppy stuff. I mean, we've seen him do a couple of times with Cash as well, just kind of pushing through smokes and kind of make the round his before the game's actually begun. But there we go, 5-on-4 situation for Dignitas, exactly what they wanted. As long as they can play this properly, smoke off the key points on the map, stay together, frag for frag like NiP were doing, they should be able to convert this one into a victory.
And Alu is going to find a lot of players here. They're going to flash on through. He's going to get the first frag. Goes to the spray. How does he do? He gets a second kill immediately. Tries to switch out for another weapon, but he can't do it in time. But 2 kills is definitely excellent there. It just exists. He just needs to come in with something good here as well. Forrest, though, gets the shot onto the balcony to trade for Exist. Gets the second one as well. Oh, great stuff there from Forrest with the triple kill. And that's going to save the round for NiP. They needed that one so badly, but it's not over yet. Dignitas have so much money. They're going to come back and strike hard once again at NiP.
Really interesting why Dignitas chose to go through their own smoke there. I think they actually chucked that one down and just went through it with a flashbang. Alu somehow pulling 2 frags out the bag there, and Forrest with some great control onto the A bomb site. Here you can see it on your screen right now. Like, look at this, really precise headshots there, getting the job done, and that's going to be, like you said, a huge round for NiP. They really want to get this one though to kind of secure their CT economy.
And that's really the rough thing, because they're still kind of struggling on grenades. But this is what we're talking about. Freiburg knows that he can outplay these players on Banana, and that's what he's going to do. Of course, he is the king of Banana, and he's going to show that to AZ, taking down the main fragger of Team Dignitas. And that's a great start there for NiP. They have the ability to hold on to so many positions. Where does Dignitas go? They can't go Banana easily unless they want to take the risk and flash through and run into Freiburg. If they go towards A, they need to take slow control in middle, but it's smoked off. There's not a lot of options for them at this point in the round.
So they're going to be sticking together. Freiburg, just a bit of fresh smoke down there. They're going to have to push through it and see what they can make of it. Freiburg's ready for this though. Look at this clean up. He should go absolutely huge here. What could potentially be the ace for him. Unfortunately, not being able to find that last man. Emmertel takes him down, but Freiburg playing that round perfectly, and he was the deciding factor of that. He got that first frag at the beginning of T-steps, managing to have perfect positioning there, and lovely spray down from him.
Yeah, that's what he's there to do, and he is going to deliver. Now, that's going to be the issue for Dignitas. That's usually why flashing through that smoke can be risky. It really depends. It's a bit of a gamble. But again, we saw mid was shut down, Banana was shut down. It's very likely there's just one player there. So I think that was actually a good call from Dignitas to go for that gamble. But I mean, Freiburg just demolished them all. And now they're on an eco. So NiP have managed to stabilize their economy. They just need to win this round clean. And in comes the unwashed masses here. Dignitas get completely cleaned up on the eco, and nobody dies for NiP. Perfect result, and now their bank starts to build. Now the incendiaries come into play. They get all the smokes, and we start to see just a bit of grinning there from Exist.
This is when CT sides become really strong, when they have the economy to play with, they have the smokes and the incendiaries in their arsenal. They're able to lock the beginning of the round out with the smoke grenades and force the T's to kind of into difficult situations they don't want to do, and then they have the Molotovs at the end of it just to kind of burn them down as they're trying to force their way into a bomb site. So this is where NiP really can finish this game off, where they can keep this economy strong.
Yeah, now this becomes the issue now. This is what we talked about pre-game as well. That when NiP start to feel like they can just take the advantage to start beasting their opponents, they will use their skill. They'll say, we are better man for man than you, pound for pound, and we're going to take that banana area away from you. And what are you going to do about it? Now we have the Dignitas trying to push up middle as a response, but Alu, this combination of Alu and Forest on the blue truck by the pit, that's crushing them as well. So Dignitas, they are looking for answers, but they can't find them in this mid-round situation.
Do you see the difference between Dignitas and NiP as their approach to going around quad and apartments there? Like, players going down, there's no response whatsoever. There's no player backing him up, getting the frag back. They're going down one by one, and that's just going to mean a complete whitewash for them in this round. There's not really much they can do in a 3-on-5 situation, especially when the clock's ticking around like here. Someone's going to have to go absolutely huge if they want a chance to get back into this one.
Pim gets a quick entry there onto Forest, but the return comes from Alu. So still looking okay here for NiP. They're 3 against 2 though, as AZ gets their second frag. Oh, sorry, his first frag, sorry. And Nico rolls around as well towards library side, picking up a kill. So 2-on-2, Dignitas have created a nice series of openings with individual skill, but now they have to deal with Get Right. He's coming in from that B-bomb side. He's mad. He wants to get this retake going straight away. Nico's going to take down Freiburg, but Get Right knows exactly where he is, and he's going to pop out and go for the pre-fire. He's going to get it onto Nico and get the defuse as well. So well handled by Dignitas to actually force their way into a plant and to a lot of damage as well. It's nice individual play from them. Yeah,
fair play to them. I really didn't see them getting back into that round, especially after that sloppy play at the beginning of the round. But they got the bomb down. They managed to secure themselves another buy here. Had they not got the bomb down there, it could have been another Tech 9 round. But they have another opportunity now to kind of get NiP off some a bad start to the round, but Alu has picked up the AWP now. This is the change of pace. It's the perfect time to do it. You know, Dignitas are clutching at straws. They're going to have to try different things, and if they can get an early pick at the start of the round, that's going to be so important for them.
If Dignitas lose this round, it's over for them, basically. That'll get NiP up to 15 rounds, because their economy will be completely shredded, just as Get Right and Freiburg are shredding them right now on Banana. They want to go for those challenges, but this duo of Get Right and Freiburg appears to be too strong, and the bomb is dropped in the smoke. This is such a perfect position for NiP. They've rotated almost everybody. Got 4 players behind this bomb. Get Right's going to go over the smoke, find Pimp through the smoke. Exist comes into play as well. Nico tries so desperately to get something done, but he's going to come up short as NiP go to 14. Dignitas, their economy is crippled. They pretty much have to go for a half buy here, or a full eco. Well, a half buy's got to be, or even a force actually at this point.
It has to be a force. Like, you've got too many rounds to NiP have too many rounds to play with here. They need to shut them out now. Get another round on the board, and this could be it. Like you said, like if this round doesn't go in the favour of Dignitas, that really is game over. NiP, like, they've got a lot of rounds to play with. They go for some audacious faces here, as Alu does, manages to take down Nico here. It's be a very important frag, and now he just has full control on the map. He can keep facing wherever he likes.
That's a really beautiful start for NiP, and a very dismal situation there for Dignitas. Dane's trying to find some answers here, but once again, they're getting bullied by individual skill here. NiP are just suffocating them, taking away so much map control when they try to push out. We get excellent spray downs here. NiP, his Exist, the in-game leader, once again is going to eliminate the last 2 players there with a nice bit of M4 action.
NiP aren't really being tested right now. It looks like every round for them is pretty easy. Like, it may come down to a clutch situation, but they seem to be converting all those rounds into victories as well. Now that Dignitas don't really have much to play with in terms of the utility, they're just getting absolutely outclassed on the individual skilled level, and Exist here going for a push down, and why not? He's got the favour in his side. He could have brought some massive damage here, and AZ Boats managed to take him down, and Alu's going to find himself in a very difficult situation as well.
You can see that NiP want to just bully them, want to just abuse the fact that they feel so good right now, going for a mid-push. The audacity of that mid-push. NiP will actually get punished for it. Forrest trying to come out with a frag out of the bedroom, but he's not going to make it happen. Pimp takes over apartments now for Dignitas, and they have a great round set up for themselves. Ali's in pit, and he does have an AWP, but he's only got 8 HP, so could get very scary for him. Very ropey indeed, as he's going to spot a couple players coming in. He gets a single frag. He's got support as well. Get Right comes in. We have Ali working very well from that pit position, getting a second frag. Nico finally responds to it. NiP actually somehow getting the advantage in the situation. Glock comes out, but that's going to be it. Garo shuts it down, 16-9, final score as NiP take out Dignitas. But you got to hand it to Dignitas here. They had a good showing, and they're not out of it yet. But NiP, they will go forward to the playoffs.
Yeah, like I think the scoreline is a bit misleading. I think like NiP never looked like they were going to lose that round, especially starting T first and managing to pick up so many rounds. It was so strong for them. And just great individual play. That's what we love to see from NiP. Like, they don't have to rely too heavily on the tactics. They can go around as a fragging unit and convert those that map control into kills. That's exactly what they did the whole time. It didn't really have to come down to too much tactical play there.
Yeah, they kept it simple. They just suffocated them.
Yep.
I mean, it always just like they always had the mid smokes, or the situation where you're Dignitas, you look up mid, it's smoked off. You look at Banana, it's smoked off. They tried to go through once, and Freiburg sprayed down almost everybody. So that was a pretty ridiculous situation that they just could never find a response in that sense. And when they did try to push mid, they never went really with an execute. They always went with just trying to get the picks, and they would always get picked off by just slight peaks here and there, and NiP always just get those edges over them. Yeah,
absolutely. Freiburg for me really stood out, especially his banana control. That 4-man spray down we saw the M4A4, really, really important stuff there. Great to see him finding some form, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come from NiP.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Ali as well. I mean, we didn't see too much AWPing from him, but on the AK, he was doing his job absolutely perfectly. He was letting other players lead for the frags. He was always making sure, okay, I'm set up for the trade. I can help my teammates out. He was doing the AK role as with support very, very well.
He got that very important 2-on-1 clutch as well. Like, after seeing that form on, he had a Mirage and not hitting anything with the AWP, the fact he managed to find some form with the AK on Inferno was great. Big rounds for him, and good stuff. Yeah, all round. Great showing from NiP.
Yeah, that clutch was actually gorgeous, because I think he had like a single side step, like a single bullet, because two guys are coming at you. As soon as they get onto the bomb site and they can attack you from two sides, you're always going to get traded. So he had to make an instant kill, and somehow he actually pulled that one off. So really impressive by Alu indeed in that one with the AK. But his skills, as you say, will be tested into the semis and so on. So I'm curious to see how he will fare later on. But they can relax now. They can relax, and Dignitas, you know, they can still make it through as well. Maybe it's going to be Titan. I'm not sure what's happening on the other match that was running concurrently to this one. So, well, we have our analysts who are ready to talk about that match. So over to you, Scoots.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. You nailed it.
Well, one round out.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, come on. I gave you a little bit of room there.
You're old. I mean, you know, I think overall, what really stood out to me was probably the number of rounds that Dignitas actually threw by making really basic errors and basic mistakes. And we did say going into it that one of the key factors was going to be, you know, was Arlu and Nico going to be able to deliver for their teams and step up? Well, Arlu stepped up with the rifle. Nico really didn't bring quite as much to the table as him. But, you know, there was a number of rounds where Dignitas should have won. They made mistakes. There was one in particular that stands out. AZ, I mean, apart from the fact, well, first of all, they got force-buyed after winning the pistol, so they didn't go 3-0. It went 2-1, and then they lost a round, and that really set them off.
Which was a trend in this series.
Yeah,
they would win pistols and always lose the one right after.
Exactly. And then on top of that, there was a round where they were like defending Banana. AZ, for no reason, runs through a Molotov, runs through an incendiary grenade. He's down to 40 HP, and of course, they get the peek and the entry kill on him, and then MSL dies, doesn't get a kill. And it was just so many rounds where they were just really throwing it away. I even thought that one-on-one late on there where Nico and Get Right run a 1v1. Nico was low HP in Library. I don't know why Nico hasn't like just moved and try and play for time, because the bomb's down, the bomb's ticking. Get Right's got to come and get the frag. You're never going to beat Get Right in a 1v1 anyway, especially as you're primarily an AWPer. Plus you're low HP. You've got about 12 HP. So you've got to be clever in your movement. And he just stood still thinking, if I get the headshot, I'll win this. Well, Nico, you don't make headshots with rifles. That's been well established. So they made some really poor decisions, poor mistakes. Feel really sorry for Pimp, because over the series, I thought he was brilliant.
I mean, I'd focus on saying like that, poor decisions. Because here's the problem. I know I was referenced this before. When they lost the game at DreamHack Summer, they were like, no, it was our mistakes that cost us a game. You know, it wasn't like NiP playing exceptional or whatever. No, that's the thing. I know what I'm going to get from NiP, but I actually know now what I get from Dignitas as well, which is repeatedly, they get the good early start, they win pistol rounds, they get these rolls going, but whenever it is the clutch round, whenever it is that, we had, it's that sob story, like we had like a 2v3 where it's like, well, mate, you don't win 2v2s, never mind 2v3s, because your players aren't as good at the decision-making aspect of the game, you know. Whereas NiP, listen, these are players that are tenured. We know how many great players there are. Think of it. One of the guys who had the least overall impact on the series in terms of frags for NiP was Exist. But I can already think off the top of my head 2 or 3 times where he just totally outplayed the opponent in like a clutch situation. Knew exactly where to be, the timing on when to come out. Dignitas had no one like that. Like, yeah, Pimp had some great fragging, really good positional play. AZ had his halves where he was really good. Nico, not so much. But those 2 players just killing isn't enough. You have to have closers as well. That's why you need the clutch player.
And I think as well, it was just like the Dignitas throughout the series, they just looked so vulnerable to the force buy or ecos. And that ties into that bad decision-making process. You know, like, are we going to group up here? Are we going to just blunder into a stack? Dignitas did this multiple times. Yeah. And, you know, when they get back and look through the demos, they need to have a real inquiry about who's making these calls, who's making these decisions, who's ultimately making these mistakes, because you cannot afford to throw away rounds against top teams like NiP. Yeah, you can't do it.
I also did actually notice something. We have some technology. I don't know if we can show you it on screen yet, but we have like some heat map technology. Yeah, and I was looking on the 3rd map there to kind of see what's the decisive difference between the 2 teams, because the heat maps weren't so different for the other maps. It was the same sort of places the battles took place. But what was different on Inferno, actually, which shows how the Dignitas guys were trying to play on their CT side, was on the CT side, most of the kills on both sites took place really deep into the sites, like right near the actual bomb site, right close CT positions. So even if the CTs were getting kills, they were playing super passive and letting the NiP guys come right into the sites. And the NiP guys were getting into the sites. Whereas if you go and look at the NiP CT side on their heat map, it's all kills like right up on the banana. It's in the middle part of the banana. That's where they're getting their kills. They're not even letting you into the top part. It's all at the end of the map. That's a part of how they locked it off. Yeah. They just had total control there. So as a result, they knew if you were coming B or not. There was never any passive play where they're scrambling at the last second. And that's actually the difference in the styles. I thought that overall, Dignitas played this series as though they weren't playing a better team than themselves. They thought if we just play everything default, standard positions, even if we're in a 2v2, just stand at the normal corner you'll be at. When he comes out, you'll kill him. That sort of mentality won't work against better teams. You have to, listen, if this guy's more skilled than you, you better use your brain to beat him in that scenario. If you just try and out-aim him, you're not going to have a good time, as we've seen in history, going against the Get-Rights, Alus, Forests of this world, when you don't always have that many stars on your team.
And I think one of the cool things we saw, you know, we've talked about Freiburg quite a bit, for Freiburg, depending on how you want to say his last name. But
I just change it up every now and then.
But I think,
every now and then I'm right.
I think we saw a glimmer of like the king of banana. You know, you talked about the heat map, and they locked down banana again. Him and Get Right, like they weren't getting in. And you know, there was a time when like he owned that spot, and it seems like he's kind of getting back to that.
And defensively, though. Yeah.
So it's nice to see. That being said. We have Chewy giving us another interview. You know, what we found out last night is that we gave James Banks so much grief last time he was here with us that he basically quit.
Yeah,
he's
done.
No, in all reality.
Quit on his stool.
In all reality, shout out to you, James. We know you're sick at home. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it today. We do have Chewy again, and this time he's got Alu with him. So take it away, Chewy.
Thank you very much, Scoots. Yes, indeed, Alu with me here. Congratulations on the win, first off. You've now progressed through, and you don't have to play for the rest of today. You've got a break until tomorrow to the semi-finals. But before we get into this series versus Dignitas, how did you prepare for this match, knowing that you would face Dignitas last night after your win?
We watched their game yesterday, and Nate did some groundwork for us where we were warm-upping, and then we just, before the game, we went through the stuff we had on them and worked our own game plan, and that's about it.
So you were really confident in your game plan coming into it. Dignitas, a team which you've had good results against so far before, and you thought on a LAN environment you'd be able to replicate that?
Yeah, for sure. Like we've had in our minds on 2-0 victory, to be honest, but in Mirage they played great and won out the crucial rounds.
Yeah, so talking about Mirage, that was a game which perhaps a lot of people thought that could have been a close map, but it didn't look too on fire as a squad overall, and Dignitas really brought it to you there. Were you surprised by that, or did you think that Dignitas were going to put up a good map there?
Well, I think it's one of their best map, and it was their pick after all, so like we knew that it can be a hard match, and it was, as we lost the map, but I mean, we lost few key rounds, and I missed many easy shots in Mirage, so it was all right. Like after all, we bounced back in Inferno, so it's all good.
So yeah, that map break in between map 2 and map 3 going into Inferno, how did you guys regroup? Was Natu a key man in that role to get you guys regrouped ready for the third map, or were you quite confident going into Inferno?
We were quite confident. Nature didn't have anything to do with it, I suppose. And like we just told ourselves that this is our map. Like we are better than this team, and we should win it, and so we did.
Good stuff. Well, final question. obviously now, as I said, you're in the semi-finals, the final knockout stages of the tournament tomorrow. Have you got any teams that you're hoping to face up against in the semi-finals, or do you not really care who you're going to face up against? You're still going to come in with a good game plan?
Well, a tournament this size, it's when you reach the playoffs, it really doesn't matter who you play, so I don't have any preference.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Alu. Guys at the desk, what do you think of that? Back over to you, Scoots.
Well, I think it was well said.
There was some real talk there.
Yeah,
I mean, that was the biggest softball ever. Like, what about your coach? He's sort of like the sixth man, isn't he? No, he does nothing, mate.
Yeah.
He just stood behind me. He was watching me kill him. Like, pretty much like you guys in the crowd.
Yeah, he belongs up here with us. He's keeping it real. Keeping it
Pay
real.
me, said Ali.
Pay him. All right, let's take a look
Not
at
me.
Group A, and we'll walk you through the bracket on the other stream. Obviously, Titan does take down SK. So SK calls it a day. They are out of the tournament, and Dignitas drops down due to their loss to Ninjas in Pajamas. So that's going to be a Titan Dignitas matchup. Rematch, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. On the other side, obviously, the next match we are going to do is going to be Envious Mouse Sports. But what's happening right now on the other stream is Cloud9 Virtus Pro, and I'm looking at it right here. And right now, we're sitting on Overpass with an 8-4 score in Cloud9's favor. So first side, they are CT. So, keep that in mind.
Watch out, guys, because actually on that map, I've seen Shazam often has problems. So, don't worry, Virtus Pro. Oh,
Wait.
right, yeah.
I was like,
VP's got it.
like
yeah,
Shazam,
yeah.
what? All right, that being said,
Shocked to somebody who's not even at the event.
we did have a chance
that
to
guy.
catch up with Friss. Unfortunately, with SK, we're not going to see any more of him in the tournament. But we did have a chance to sit down with him and have a nice interview with him, kind of the past, present, and future of his career, as well as a little bit of SK. So let's go ahead and show you that. We'll do a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and bring you that next match, Envious versus Mouse Sports.
I have been with the same players like 3 times. I was with the TSM guys, and then I was with Fnatic, and then with this team, but in different organizations. The highlight of my esports career was DreamHack Winter 2011, where we was beating Lions, and I did a really good show in the last map. So yeah, we traveled all around the world, so we had a lot of big moments and a lot of funny stories, but yeah, it's what that time. It was a good thing for me to take a break. It's a bit hard to get to be the best in another game and then change the game and then suddenly get owned all the time. I have cut my finger over, so I have a screw in my finger, so I can really, I cannot use it, so I only use 4 fingers when I play. It's not make me better, but it's not make me worse. It's like you just need to get used to it. It's harder, but you just need to play and get used to it. I feel good about SK Gaming, but with our team we just have to change our in-game leader 1 week ago, so I don't know how good I feel about that. I think it's the right decision, but of course we cannot be ready right now. We need to do what we can, and then we have to work when we come home again. If not, we cannot get any higher end than this.
I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it.
I'm on it.
I'm on it.
So now I find the change.